Folks at home, how you doing tonight? I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. I know we are. We got a packed house tonight. Feels good. We got the old crew back together.
Feels good.
And this is the Ike Live Christmas special. We got a great show for you tonight. Let me intro the room. To my right, the one and only Santa Claus. Everybody, Santa Claus. Dave, what was the line? Brian hates when we talk before the camera goes on because real stuff happens.
Right.
What was the as we look at Pete, I think he looks like Santa Claus, but there's some differences.
Yeah, I just kind of thought, like, if you somehow stumbled into the private room at the Indian casino,
Yeah.
it's like Santa at a blackjack table suffering massive loss.
And he's been there for like 3 days, draped over the same table.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
yeah, with three-day growth on his, on his face.
Yeah. Wow.
It's like, man, I've been delivering gifts for like 24 hours. Man. I need a little relaxation time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, drunk Santa, I'm glad you're here tonight.
Or like during
Good to be here.
COVID, if Santa had to get a job at like a Rent-A-Dent or something like that. You know what I mean?
Dude, everybody's blaming shit on COVID. Even Santa has having problems. So that makes sense.
Pete, you look great. I'm just having fun.
No, Pete Glusick to my right, next to me, and she is double dipping tonight. Of course, you see her with the laptop on tonight, a laptop on her lap. She's doing a little IM, and she's a guest tonight. Miss Rebecca, how you doing tonight?
Hi, thank you.
I like the outfit. Looks very comfortable.
I'm an elf. I got my.
It's an elf?
I have my what's it say? Get lit.
Get lit. Yeah.
Uncle Don gave this to me
Lit.
a few years ago.
That's an Eric the intern line. Nobody knew what lit meant when Eric worked for us
Lit
1,000
fire.
years ago.
Liddy.
Lit. Yeah. He
Little
was
Liddy.
like, man, that's lit. And me and Pete were just like, huh? What?
Little Liddy.
No, if we would have said.
That means it must have went out of style in the hood about 4 years
Probably.
before. Like,
Probably did. Yeah.
By the time the information disseminates to
Right.
the whites.
Probably did. It's good to have you tonight, Beck. By
Thank
the way,
you. Thank
who
you.
are you wearing tonight? Who makes this outfit?
Oh, the elves from the North Pole.
Oh, there you go. The Elves from North Pole. Looks good. Sitting next to Miss Rebecca, Dave Brodzik, a.k.a. Fatty, a.k.a. Wolf, a.k.a. Stormtrooper. Dave, how you doing tonight?
All right, man.
Dude, I told you this. That sweater is one of the most impressive Christmas sweaters I've ever seen. Brian the Carpenter, we actually had camera technology in this shitty studio. We could zoom in on that Yeti. But
Wait a minute.
oh, wait. Oh, this is the manual. Is this manual?
I think he's just going to pick the whole thing
He's
up.
going to pick the whole damn camera up. All right, look at this, folks.
Action
This is
news.
probably going to ruin the show, but who cares?
Yeah.
Look at this beautiful sweater. If you're watching at home,
Wow, look at
you
that.
can appreciate Yeti in a sweater, and Dave has that embezzled on his sweater.
Embezzled. no, bedazzled.
Bedazzled on his sweater.
Please
I don't even think bedazzled is right.
Please don't ever
embroidered.
zoom up again, dude. The Yeti had a,
Emblazoned.
Emblazoned.
the Yeti had a more discernible jawline than I do now. Jesus. Get that camera off, man. What's wrong with you?
Wow.
Knock that close-up off right now.
Wow. Wow.
Do that
What a
again.
sweater, Dave. What a
Thank
sweater.
you.
We love it. And last but not least, and you saw him just making his magic right there happen. What a great zoom that was. That was a pan zoom. It was a whip pan to a zoom. I know the terms.
Little choppy.
I've done a few TV shows. I know the
Little
terminology.
choppy. Yeah. Little choppy.
Brian the Carpenter. Brian the Carpenter, how you doing tonight?
I'm here in body, but
Producing
not
the show.
mind.
Now, out of all the outfits tonight, I'd like yours the best. I really do, and I'm not just kidding because it's a combination of elf hat, wig. We've got light actual Christmas lights, work boots,
Yeah.
and TH Marine Christmas sweater.
I think I put even more effort forth than Pete did.
I think you might have.
I'm sorry, I meant less.
Less. Oh, less.
Like I said, I'm here in body, but that's about it.
It's kind
Okay.
of like if the North Pole had a probation department. You know what I mean?
Lost and found.
Oh my God. Listen, we got a great show for you tonight. If you're watching and listening to this thing, we got Maddie Wong joining us. Maddie Wong.
Really excited to meet Maddie.
So excited. And here's the thing: we're gonna probe and pry Maddie a little later when we get him on. But you ready for this, Dave?
I'm ready.
He just started bass fishing 3 years ago.
What?
Yeah, he's a star.
Dude, are you kidding me? In that short period of time, qualified for a divisional, made a national, wins the national championship, and qualifies and accepts an elite invite in 3 years. Is that
Yeah.
impossible, Pete?
That's virtually impossible.
It's pretty impossible.
Who does it?
You
It's
said
a lifetime.
in 3
to-
years.
3 years.
Yeah, it's a
So
lifetime to
So
get those
since
skills.
the Large Hadron Collider reached max capacity and discovered the God particle, since that happened,
Wow.
Maddie Wong.
Okay. Well, we're going to be talking to Maddie. I can't
Just a
wait to.
coincidence.
What?
We can get,
Yes.
we can bring that up.
Yeah, we'll bring that up a little later in the show. We'll blow everybody's mind.
I have theories.
But very excited,
Oh,
very
no.
excited to get Maddie on the line here and welcome him to
I
the
need
show.
a drink.
Also,
Me too.
Pete, we mentioned this on our Facebook Live, but let's let everybody know out here in TV land, Stormtroopers is coming back for a visit.
We have not. It's been. Has he been here this year?
I don't. Dave, has Stormtrooper visited with us this year?
I
can't
haven't even
remember.
been here like in a year, dude.
Right.
So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Right. I don't know either.
Unless
Brian
there's an
Carpenter,
imposter.
can you give us an exact click? What do you got? It has to be over a year since we have had a visit from Stormtrooper.
I would think so. Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah, longer than that.
Longer than
I
that.
mean,
years.
I know that he wears glasses now.
And he did.
Wow. Stormtrooper going through some change.
Oh,
So
things are
listen, I
moving.
was putting together some trivia questions for tonight,
Yeah.
like to quiz you guys
Yeah.
to see if you could remember certain things that have happened.
Can't remember what happened yesterday.
But this is one that I couldn't figure out, so it can't be a question. So I'm going to see if anyone remembers. When did Stormtrooper first appear?
Halloween show.
A Halloween show.
That's right, when we all dressed up.
Right. So
I was Princess Leia.
Yes.
Yes, that's what it was.
Is that what we
I
had
can't
Adrian
even remember
Avena
what
in?
I was.
It was. We had Adrian.
He was.
How ironic.
Yeah, he was. He was Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
He was Luke.
Who the hell
Yeah.
was I?
You were
Oh,
Han Solo.
Han Solo.
Han Solo.
Han Solo. Who was Pete?
C-3PO? That's wrong, man. Brian.
Brian's on a mission back
Brian
there
is a-
tonight.
Wait, so who were you then?
I have no idea.
Luke.
RDD2?
You were not, no,
CP?
Adrian was Luke. Adrian Avena
Adrian was Luke. Yeah, well, I was our RDD2, CP30 numbers, one of those numbers. Yoda. Was I Yoda? I don't know who I was.
Wow.
I
We
was
gotta
in-
go
We
back.
have to go back and
I
figure
was,
this
I
out.
was in like the skinniest material ever created, onesie that like wrapped around every piece of fat, non-muscular chest
Oh,
thing
man.
sticking out. Like, oh man, that
There's
was the
been some
worst, dude.
costumes over the years.
Oh
here,
my
Pete.
gosh!
Some crazy ones.
Every time we show up, we had a bag.
Yeah.
Becky had
a
put our
bag
name
with
on it.
names sharpied on the
Dude,
bag.
Life was so
God.
much simpler and more fun
And they were
back then.
positioned right on the chairs, so you knew that was yours. You'd come in, and, oh yeah, shit, there's my custom. What am I today? You know? What a
Dude,
great.
she did you dirty that one year with the turkey outfit. She
Yeah.
made you wear, man.
Just squeeze into that.
Mike was the turkey. He was a pilgrim.
That's right. That's right. Because we had played that as a promo.
It, was,
recently,
it looked
so.
like you looked like you came out of a Betty Bakes a Lot or something. You know what I mean?
Oh
Sorry.
man.
that's the last joke on you, Pete.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it isn't.
It is.
It's going to be.
Oh, you were Vader.
Was
You
I
were
Vader?
Darth Vader.
I was Darth Vader.
I think
That's
that
right.
mask is still
Oh,
back
I was
here.
Darth. Maybe Darth will make an
Of course
appearance
you
tonight
were.
too. I was Darth Vader.
Who got that?
Becky did.
Uh,
Becky wins. Oh,
no,
did somebody
no,
get that
Mike
on-
P. Mike P.
Oh, Mike P. Mike P. Send in your information, Mike
To
P.
who?
You're winning something tonight.
No, I know how to
take
copy
it.
and paste
Yeah.
Okay.
into an email so
Mike
someone
P.,
sends you something.
Send in your info. You're the first winner tonight. We're giving away a lot of shit tonight. We're in the Christmas spirit.
Wait.
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember this if I don't tell you guys this now.
Okay.
Everyone will hate Ike Live and move on because the feminist is going to talk. But listen to this shit. You're not going to believe it. So, you know how Brian always calls us the Alpha Cats? Like, you know, Kate, Janet, Jocelyn, Carol, and I. Now
I
we
always
added
heard him
another
say
Alpha.
rotten bitches. What?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't say that to our face. So, you know, so we get things done. So I wanted to post this, and I was going to tag Brian to it. See, it's been a conspiracy all these years. Did you know that male reindeer lose their antlers in the winter, and the female reindeer do not? So everyone's been thinking that all the reindeer that pull the sleigh for Santa are male reindeer. Nope, they're women.
Whoa.
Because that's how you get shit done, and that's how you get presents to the
Whoa,
house.
How about that?
Is that true? They're all
what
women?
about the
Their
names?
names.
So they're not
males.
alpha cats; they're the alpha reindeer.
Yeah, but what about the names? Donner? That sounds very masculine to me.
Donner.
Because this is the lies you men have been telling us for years.
So Donner's a female, or Donner's not actually the name of the reindeer?
Donner's not the name
Well, how
of the
come
reindeer.
I've never seen Blitzen with a trifold wallet and his cigarettes rolled up into her sleeves?
Because it is a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy.
Yeah,
Man.
get on the Harley, Kelly.
The very masculine voices on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
How about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't
Very
knew that. I
masculine.
never knew that, man. I'm sure.
I'm kind of mind blown right now. I don't
Right.
even know if I
Right?
can do the rest of the show, Bri.
I just think.
I'm out. I'm
think.
done with you. Let's wrap this up.
I just think.
That's a wrap.
I was done before we started.
Everyone just left the show. They're like, make the woman leave.
Yeah. That is a good fact, though. We got a great show. So Maddie Wong, Stormtrooper, and also we're going to be doing an MTB unboxing a little bit later in the show. We are going to give away a lot of prizes tonight, Pete, which is
Awesome.
great. This show is brought to you by many amazing sponsors. Of course, check this out right here. Just cracked it open. The beer of the night. We're drinking Founders, of course. You're going to see All Day IPA. You're going to see some different beers floating around tonight. Also brought to you by AFCO. AFCO, makers of some great clothing. Please check out that new Ike-approved apparel. It's pretty awesome. Tin Cup Whiskey. Brian the Carpenter. I think a second segment. I think for sure we're going to be breaking out a little Tin Cup.
All right, should I hit the commercial now?
No, in just a bit. But
Let's
but,
go.
But here's what I wanted to say about Tin Cup. What a great way to bring in the holidays and the New Year's with a little Tin Cup. It's great. It's a great fine American whiskey.
Yeah.
It tastes great. Over on rocks, straight, whatever you want to do with it. I love
Perfect
it.
for your celebration.
It's perfect for your celebration. Let's see here. Liquid Mayhem, Flambeau, Tackle Warehouse, Hobie, Heshy Socks, and Torquedo. Bri, you got a chance to fish with Mr. Jeff Little today, I think.
Yeah, that's right. I did.
How'd that go? How was that escapade?
It was good, dude. We hit the first.
Tin Cup at 8 o'clock.
No, I took them. I was going to go down to Chesapeake today, but
Yeah.
it was supposed to blow 5 to 15 with
Yeah.
gusts up into 35.
It did blow today.
straight up from
It
the
did
south,
blow.
which is a horrible place to be when it's blowing. So we did some Delaware River wintering ponds.
Cool.
Yeah,
And you caught some.
yeah. I had the first spot was beat,
Yeah.
the one way down south.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
get in it and they were gone. Nothing.
Gotcha.
So
yeah. So you moved on to the other one.
Yeah.
Standby.
went up to Darby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Caught 'em.
Nice.
Yep.
Awesome. I saved this one for next to last, Pete, because this is our presenting sponsor, Mystery Tackle Box. It's like Christmas in a box. Well, guess what?
Great Christmas gift.
is
Yeah.
how many days away? Do you know the exact count? Becky, I'm sure
14
does.
days?
14 days. Is that correct?
Is it today the 11th or 12th?
Today's the 11th.
14
Yeah.
days away. Listen to me. What a great Christmas gift if you're watching for yourself, for your friends, for your kids, for a fishing buddy. What a great Christmas gift. Mystery Tackle Box. We're going to be doing an unboxing tonight. Stay with the whole show. Watch all the great stuff that comes in this box. And last, but definitely not least, Pete, Bash University. And that also makes a fabulous holiday gift. Tell me
Fabulous
about
gift.
that.
Yeah, if you right now we still have our cyber promotion going on, and it ends tomorrow night. And it's a great promotion. It's $49 for 6 months.
Go get it.
It's a great gift. The gift cards are all discounted as well. So go over to bashu.tv and give it or get it for yourself. We have tremendous instructional pieces that we release every week, and now's the time to study. We've got a new season coming up. Guys are already starting to fish. Of course, a lot of us never quit through the winter, but down south, it's already, it's going to get busy here in January. So get over to Bashu TV. And here's a big one. Our virtual seminars will continue. We're hybrid this year. We're in person down in Alabama and South Carolina. So come see us at our events in January. You can check them out at thebashuniversity.com. Next week, on Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to be virtual from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you're a subscriber, guess what? You get access for 99 cents.
Whoa!
So it's just we just need to process you. That's why we have that nominal fee. But we want you there, and we want you guys all to have access. If you're not a subscriber, it's $49 a day to come over and check it out. But we've got some tremendous talent. Check that out also at thebashuniversity.com, and come hang out with us on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I'll be there on Wednesday. So look forward to seeing you guys there.
Dave, I think that's the best dollar you could ever spend. If you were a Bash U subscriber, to spend $1 and to get all that information, that's a pretty good dollar.
Yep.
Wow.
All right,
Do you think
I'm more
who's
impressed. I'm more
nose
impressed.
breathing like that into the microphones?
Who's nose breathing? I don't know.
That's
Hey,
probably.
me, I'm not.
Is it Quincy?
It's not me.
Is it our dog?
How can I nose breathe and talk at the same time? You looked at me.
I looked at everybody like this.
Give me something to eat.
I got a
Brian always
hippopotamus.
loves when I chew into the mic. That would be fun. Great show. Before we get started officially with the show tonight, I want to thank our military, active veterans, men and women. Thank you guys for what you do. Our policemen, our firemen, our EMT. The world is crazy. I don't know if it's getting any better or not. It seems crazier every day. Thank you guys for what you're doing. We got a good show here, Pete. First thing I want to say real quick is so nice last night. We had our Christmas party
That was fun.
to help celebrate our employees and our friends, and it was nice. It was nice to hang out with our crew
In the barn.
in the barn. Yeah, what a cool venue that was.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun seeing everybody that we worked so hard with all year long, and just tell stories and just get to know their significant others too.
Yeah.
People that we don't get to see very much.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. Dave was there.
Yeah, it was a nice
And,
time.
yeah.
And Bri, you were at Greg De Palma's wedding. How'd that go?
It was lovely.
Lovely ceremony.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Were you sad that Kelly is now off the market?
Yes.
Are you, Pete?
I'm ecstatic for both
Projecting
of them.
on Brian a little bit, are we?
Yeah.
We've all
Wow.
seen how Brian can fawn over certain people from time to time.
I got an eye for talent.
Did you smell the bride's hair?
No. I'm getting old, dude.
Nose don't work as well.
I just don't carry around the
Chopsticks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we want to say congrats, guys. Congratulations on that marriage.
Yeah, it was an awesome wedding.
Yeah. So I know tonight the schedule got a little changed, Pete. We had Bobby Lane went and did something. I don't even know what can I talk about. What can I talk about? It's some MLF Cups, and they're very secretive about those tournaments. But I can at least talk in generals and say Bobby's in a cup. He qualified to get, I guess, to the finals. So Bobby will have on another show. Bobby Lane was scheduled. He's not on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also scheduled to have our young men. That,
No, we never put that out in promotion.
I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. A couple
Right.
times.
Well,
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Logan Parks and
It's like a normal marriage.
Right.
No communication.
Of course, I don't know shit. But here's the great thing. We don't have them on tonight. But
here's the great thing.
here's
we
the
don't
great
have them
thing.
on.
We don't have them on tonight.
But everyone else did.
Everyone else had them on.
Everyone.
And here was the thing.
Podcasts that don't even exist yet had them on.
Well, here's what I want to say. I want to say
Futuristic podcast.
I
Go
want
ahead,
to say a
Mike, I'm
couple
sorry.
things, and Dave and I had conversations last night about it at the party, which is I think we would have eventually got into things with them that the other podcast did not, right? So let's start by saying, and I want to make sure I say this, that, dude, what an amazing win for those guys, right?
Huge.
And dude,
Biggest
Brian
ever.
Yeah, Brian Carpenter. Back me up on this one. That wasn't a fluke. Like these two kids catch them. They flat out catch them. They're hammers at the college leagues. They were at the high school leagues.
They won the AOI this year in the Bassmaster College Series.
Right.
They won an event. I forget which event it was, but they also won an
They
event.
won an event. I think it was Saginaw Bay or
Yeah.
Sandusky Bay or somewhere, one of the big Great Lakes. They
And
won with Small
I
Bay.
ran into somebody at the wedding last night who happens to have a bass fishing podcast, and they had him on just recently and told
Wow.
me how awesome it was.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely, what a great win for them. And they're not flukes. They deserved it. Like when
That
you
was-
win something like that, like it's not random. I mean, they're good.
That was $1 million prize.
Right.
Boat and truck
Right.
each.
Right. So here's where I want to get into this a little bit. Me and Dave had this conversation, and it borderline frazzles me.
Yeah, your ass was chapped. Let's just get it
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave.
So what's exciting and what bothers me is the same thing, which is that prize, right? So you basically have a brand new circuit that pops up out of nowhere that you have to be an amateur to fish. And you go to this championship event and in one fell swoop win $1 million more than any professional event out there. More than the Bassmaster Classic, more than the MLF Red Crest, more than whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. That bothers me. It bothers me.
Yeah.
It bothers me a lot from the standpoint of it seems wrong. You know, if I was still an MLF angler, it would bother me even more. Because
Why so MLF?
Because MLF is the Bass Pro Tour. One of the major sponsors over there is still Johnny Morris and Bass Pro Shops. I would be really hurt more as an MLF angler to know that here's a league that said no entry fees. They took that away. They brought it back up to the standard Bass BASS level, 50 grand. This year they raised it to 60 or whatever it is now. It's more. And now here's Johnny Morris giving away $1 million to amateur fishermen.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Am I the only one here that
No.
this is wrong?
He made Oprah look like she was handing out gumballs.
I know.
Instead
I
of
know.
Priuses.
Oprah was handing out gumballs. It seems very, very wrong to me, Pete. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I can obviously see, right, the pro at one point there was $1 million purses, right? There was a few of them,
There was.
right?
FLW.
The FLW had a few $1 million.
For professional
Right,
anglers, tour level anglers.
right,
Correct.
and that is going down dramatically. So, do you have a solution, or can you?
I honestly want to throw it all at Bass Pro Shops. You know, I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to throw all the load on them, and I want to criticize them for creating this whole thing just to sell boats. Okay, it's business. It's business. But why not support the leagues? Why not give that? You know what I mean? Why not upraise the professional stakes and the professional levels and hand it out to amateur? You know, it just doesn't seem right to me. It just doesn't seem right. I'm hurt by it as a professional angler.
And I don't
You
think
know?
anybody's struggling to sell boats right now, right?
Right.
Everybody's sold out.
Right.
You can't get a boat.
Yeah. And Brian, I know you got a million things going on. I would love for you, I don't know how this is possible, to get a picture up real quick
Of Johnny Morris?
of the Logan and
Yeah.
with the trophies. There's one image in particular that was going around Google that,
They're like giant.
dude, they are coffins.
Yeah.
Why the hell? They gave coffins away.
Coffins.
Yes.
They gave him like Egyptian.
Brian, please get this picture
oh,
up.
right. There's a
They gave coffins
Well,
away.
because where else were they going to put the $1 million?
Yeah, you gotta
In the
store it
coffin?
somewhere.
You got to
and what's
bury
with the
it in your
Masonic symbols on that
backyard.
coffin?
It's unbelievable. They gave him fucking coffins, Pete.
Coffins full of money.
They're
Sta-
full of money.
hundreds. And then they gave him a
Yeah.
giant boat to pull
Yeah.
their.
So
Yeah.
I'm very.
I was frustrated in if it's going to be an open, just make it open. You know.
right.
They closed it off. There was all kind of restrictions. Of course, obviously it was a brand oriented, and it's his brand. He's got the prerogative to do that. I was frustrated with their qualification of a pro angler.
Right.
Was kind of skewed, and I don't really even know what that means. You know.
Right.
One of our guys as a co-angler because he won too much money couldn't do it. I don't want to say his names. I don't know if Brian wants him out there, but someone you're very close with couldn't be in there because he made too much money as a co-angler.
As a
Yeah.
co. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I also heard that the other guys that violated that rule, that in other words, the policing of that was not it was suspicious on whether it was
Yeah.
enforced or not. You
Yeah.
know, guys that had won over the limit were
Wow.
competing.
Well,
Right.
at least they didn't win. The kid,
Yeah.
the
It's
kids
just
did.
it's frustrating to me.
Is it sour grapes from
it's-
pros? Like, are we whining?
I don't think we're whining. I think we're saying, hey,
I
here's,
think if somebody had done this whose name wasn't on a professional tour as a supporter, I think that's where there's the biggest like stab. It's like all this money can go to these amateurs, but the pros are still paying to play everything else.
I'm just saying, Pete, I've worked at this for 30 years. And in my 30 years of doing it at the highest level, I've never had a chance to win $1 million, ever. I would have, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
how do you have all these touring pros fishing for 30, 40, 50 years?
What's your angle,
and
Johnny?
they've never had a chance. All right, here's Brian the Carpenter just put up. This is a great image. Here are our winners with the sarcophagus. What is sarcophagus?
Sarcophagus.
Sarcophagus, Egyptian sarcophagus
Yeah.
with bags of money in there
Yeah.
and
Good
whatnot and loot.
Congratulations to them, guys.
Please
don't think you're getting
No.
shit on right
We're
now.
not. We're
Yeah,
not.
like-
We're not dissing them at all because they are talented anglers. They surely deserve the win.
Surely.
All that. I don't want to take any of that away.
I mean, that trophy looks like the Ark of the Covenant from Indiana Jones.
Exactly.
You know, like
100%, bros.
Indy.
Andy. Yeah.
So we got an
it was an
interesting.
Italian that they had look like. They couldn't even find an Indian actor back then in the
No.
80s.
So
it was
we
an
have
Italian
a,
kid.
So listen,
My
we've got an
God.
interesting comment from a friend of the show. Team No Fish said, these amateurs don't have boats given to them, plus all the other sponsor stuff. If you think that the pros on tour have boats and everything given to them, then you haven't been watching Ike Live.
Yeah. Team No Fish. I'll break it into a percentage for you. I will say when you look at the body of professional anglers collectively, whatever that number is, I call it 600 guys, 400, whatever that number is. I would say 20% or less
That's a high estimate. Yeah.
have this stuff given to them, and the rest are buying it or on memo deals or on discount, whatever.
Yeah,
And
but it's not given. How dare you say given? It's a job.
How
It's a
dare
job.
you?
That's a job. You're
Yeah,
exactly
that's the
right.
most
But
annoying
there's
thing
still,
ever.
but this is
It's
the
a freaking
misconception
job.
that we've been
Let's not
trying to
kill
get
the guy.
across. Like these
Let's not
guys
kill
think
the
that
guy.
they
Yeah.
make
Let's
it to
not
the
kill the
pro
guy.
level.
Wow.
No, but this has
Yeah.
been the misconception that we've been trying to get across for years. Like everyone thinks like,
Given.
oh, I qualified, so someone's going to give me a boat and a motor and this and that. It's not how it works.
No.
It's not.
Fortunately, it does not. It does not. Real quick, and because I know Maddie is standing by.
Yeah,
we
sorry about
we
that.
do want to get to Maddie. Real quick, two other things, and the one other thing we
Hold on,
will
Maddie.
bring back up a little later in the show, which is why in the hell did they call it the U.S. Open? There's a million names out there. They could have did any name in the world, and they have to go and steal the name of a legendary tournament in the bass fishing world.
Who we'll hear from later
Who
tonight.
we will. The U.S. Open. Why the hell call it the U.S. Open? Who the hell's working for him that made that decision and they okayed that? Pete,
Yeah.
people would be fired.
Right.
I'd have Becky fire them if they worked for me.
What did the U.S. Open do? Did one bass take any action against that?
Well, we're going to have Billy Egan on
I mean,
a little later.
that
We'll
was
ask
such an
him.
important tournament out west. Like Brian Veldick still talks about it, and it was so long ago. There were still like live episodes of Arnold's Place on TV. Like that's a big deal out there, dude.
Arnold's
All
place.
right.
But that's the
That's
staying
so
power
good.
of the U.S. Open.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
saying
Right.
he won it, and it was like
Joe Thomas
Yeah, what?
made a career off of
Yeah,
winning
what?
that tournament.
Billy
Yeah,
White
what?
Shoes Johnson was
What?
doing that end zone dance.
all right. So that's all right. I got that off my back, and we'll talk to Billy Egan about that. And then the last thing, and this is really where I almost wish we would have got him on, is
Oh, maybe we will later.
yeah, maybe we will later. Is it does worry me. So Dave, Pete, Brian, any of you guys, put yourself in their shoes, and you're 20, 21 years old, and you win that kind of money. Was it too early for them to win an event like this with that?
maybe
I
the
would buy so
coffin-
many Gucci's.
I mean, it honestly scares me a little bit. You know,
Maybe the coffins are symbolic of what could happen.
Well, here's what
My
scares me
goodness.
because, like, from what I understand, they couldn't come on tonight because they're out. They're at like a function, and they
Well,
might be able to call in from the bar tonight.
Logan graduated college tonight.
Okay.
No, you can't shit on everything
no,
without
I'm
me
not
bringing a
shitting
little
on
bit
everything.
of truth into it. Logan was at graduation
Congratulations,
tonight,
Logan.
and then going out to
Okay.
family dinner.
Okay.
And then after family dinner on the limo ride home, he's going to call in.
Well, I hope he paid for that family dinner.
Well, it's like what happens with lottery winners, right? A significant amount of lottery winners go bankrupt,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
they
you do
they don't have a
realize
strategy.
the government is taking half.
It is.
True.
And what's going to happen is when you win a prize like that, like there's no turning back. I mean, you're all in.
Yeah.
You're going to fish whatever you can. You're going to try to continue to make it to the next level. You're going to invest every moment and dime that you can back into the sport.
I'm telling you, and I'll throw myself under the bus on this one. I'll flip it because Brian's getting mad at me because
I'm mad at you.
I'm yelling at everybody. If I won an event like that at 21, I would have been ruined. I'm just telling you right now. I would have been ruined.
No, you wouldn't.
I think so. I don't think. I think
I
it would have
would've.
You
altered.
wouldn't have.
I
Me
definitely
and
would've.
Brian, one of us would have been dead, and the other one would have been in like a vegetative state for the rest of their life. You know?
That's true.
Yeah, you
That's
wouldn't
true.
have.
No,
I
you-
remember the
no, you
pictures from.
wouldn't.
I remember the
McGraw
pictures
wouldn't have.
from your trip to Florida. All those
Not even that. I'm
Polaroids.
just
I
saying.
remember
you
what I
know,
saw.
Yeah, we got it.
And
you
we were
know.
broke.
Yeah,
we
I got all that out.
That's what I'm
Stolen
saying.
days.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree. I won a tournament at 19 years old on Menanico Ponds and won $300, and I was ruined.
What?
He never came back.
Spent the last 30 years chasing this thing. You know?
All right. Let's
More than 30.
yeah. All right. Let's switch. Let's turn the switch here, Brian. I'm ready to talk about other things. Let's talk about happy things, exciting things.
Can we make that turn?
Let's make the turn. Let's make the turn right now. And very excited. I've had Maddie on the phone a few times, chatting with him. Very excited to have him on Ike Live for the first time tonight. Here is your 2021 national champion, Maddie Wong, joining on Ice Live. Ike Live. Ice Live.
Maddie.
Just change the name of
Hey
the show.
guys, how's it going?
Maddie, how you doing tonight?
Oh man, I'm doing pretty good. I'm in a hotel room 12 stories above Las Vegas Strip right now.
Heck yeah.
I'm here for a wedding, but I'm also here to pick up the new sled, which I'm really excited. Bass Nation worked with me on getting it at least out to Vegas for me, so which was nice. Was able to kind of meet me there. I didn't win a truck, so still looking for that part. But
Well, there's
Nor $1 million.
Nor $1 million.
or $1 million. You know, just to chime in on what you guys are talking about. You know, like I completely agree with you, man. Because it's like let's say you win that at 21, your expectations now are just so high.
Yeah.
Now they can't even be met like in any other circuit.
Yeah.
And like and then you also, I don't know. I just feel like it's like one of those things that, you know, like you said, you've been on tour for so long and you've had such a long career and you've never had a chance for that. There's something wrong.
There's something
wrong.
There's
and
something
it's so,
wrong
and
with
it's,
that.
and it pains me too because I'm like, man, you qualified to get to the highest level of this sport.
Yeah.
And now next year I'm already in deficit $110,000 just to break even.
Right.
Wow.
And
Right
it's
off the
like-
giddy. Right off the giddy.
Right off the giddy. It's like,
Yeah.
congrats, man. You made it to the highest level of bass fishing. It's 110 G's.
You
Yeah.
sound
You know?
like a young Pete Gluzek
Yeah.
there. You must have been watching the show, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Congratulations for qualifying. Here's your invoice.
Yeah, here's your invoice. Got a stamp on there. It's one of those nice seals too. It's wax. You know, it's got the little
Yeah.
bass logo and a wax seal.
Upside
on
down
there.
cross on it.
Upside down cross, yeah. Maddie, let me start. I want to start by just going back to that win, and that was a breakthrough win. If you're watching or listening tonight, Maddie won a huge event, a big deal, Pete, especially for us, for a lot of the guys that are grassroots and came through the clubs. This is the biggest event in your life you can win. But Maddie, you won the
It changed
nation-
you. It changed you.
It changed
It
my
was-
life flat out. But you won this title, and it's so hard. That's such a hard one to win. I've said it before, but that one to me is harder than like an elite event. It's harder than a Bass Pro Tour because you got to cut through more people. You got to, you have to see more things to get to the nationals, and then you go and win it. It's been a bit since that win, but man, how's it feel? I mean, it's got to be incredible to you.
Man, like I still get emotional just to think about it.
Yeah.
My brother just recently sent me, like he was watching the live event while he was driving in his car, and he recorded, because he has like a dashboard cam, like recording the road, but it recorded audio, and recorded him like breaking down and with excitement
Wow.
for me. And like it gave me, and I just watched it literally yesterday and it made me cry again. And it was such a momentous, like you said, life-changing event for me. That it's kind of finally sinking in. Like, you know, it's been like about a month, you know, a little over a month now.
Yeah.
But it's beyond a dream come true, man.
Yeah.
Like the whole year I was looking forward to the nationals, and for me, like this was my first year doing it as a boater, like doing Bass Nation as a boater, and my goal was just to make it to the regionals. And you know, I was like, man, it'd be great if I made the state team. There's a bunch of incredible fishermen in the state of California, man. Like I feel like people like, oh, West Coast, you guys got it easy. There's a bunch of big bass there. It's like, yeah, there's big bass, but man, if you've ever come out fishing West, it's hard. Like those bass are smart, and those guys are like, they're incredible fishermen. So, you know, just to be able to qualify against the guys in California, like that was a huge accomplishment. And then for me to do well in Havasu against legends that I looked up to, and they're like, wait, who's this? How many times have you been to Havasu? I was like, this is my 4th time to Havasu. They're like, what?
Wow.
That's incredible.
But it was, I guess for me, what really made it special for me was I was able to do it off my uncle's boat, and you know, and not having all the newest, latest and greatest, you know, gadgets, and the live scopes and the 360s, and just fished off of intuition and my gut, and just trying to stay fluid with like changes and whatnot. But yeah, it's such an incredible thing, like the fact that I made it there. And it's nuts because when I remember I was in line and I had talked to there was one other guy running an older Ranger at the Nationals, and the final day, you know, he stopped in on me on the lake and on the river, and he's like, hey, did you get him? I'm like, I'm sitting on like 4 right now. I'm like, how about you? He's like, I got like 1 fish. And I'm like, hey man, you still got time, go get him, you know. And I came in, I was able to, like, I thought in my head, I'm like, hey, at least I have 11 pounds. I wasn't weighing all my fish, but I'm like, I at least have 11 pounds. And then he rolls in, I'm like, what'd you sack him? He's like, I think I got like 13 pounds. And I'm like, oh, well, you was just like a pound behind me or something like that. Like, well, he just, and so my whole thing is checking expectations. Like you shoot for the highest, obviously your highest outcome of what you'd want to get, but always have your expectations in check, because you never know when that rug will be pulled underneath you.
Yeah.
And especially for me, like working like as an actor, as like a musician, as a photographer, there's been so many times where I've had like these big opportunities and I've had the rug pulled right underneath me, like right when it was in like the grasp of my hands, just poof, gone. And so that, you know, that's something that I'm so aware of now in my 30s, that I'm like, okay, I gotta check my expectations. And you know, and when I pulled up in line, and the guy at the old Ranger who told me at 13, you know, there was a moment where there was a high school team there, and a couple kids came up to me and they're like, hey mister, like, will you sign my hat? And like I went over and I was like, oh my gosh, like not only being at the Nationals is one of my dreams, but like to be able to actually autograph a hat for a kid, like it's just such a cool feeling. And my reality got suspended in this moment. I wasn't paying attention to what John Stewart was doing on stage weighing fish, and I just went in and I signed this kid's hat, and I was like asking him what his favorite technique was and whatnot. I'm like, good luck, buddy. And like, and I drive up, and one of the Arizona guys walks up to me and he's like, bro, I think you got this. And I'm like, man, like yeah, like I'm probably going to the Classic, which is epic. He's like, no, I think you got this. And I'm like, bro, the guy in the old Ranger, he said he got 13 pounds, man. He's like, he just weighed 10. And I'm like, no. The guy with the old Ranger said he had 13. He's like, he just weighed.
He pulled an Iaconelli.
Yeah,
he big-eyed him.
He big-eyed him. That's what I do all the time.
That's why you shouldn't be talking to the Howleys like that. They lie to you all the time.
Well, right there, I feel like one of my other friends, Hella Bass, Rich, he looked at me and he's like, are you gonna pass out? he's like, you look like, and I just right there, my heart dropped out, and my buddy Jake, he goes, hey dude, this is what we live for.
Yeah.
Take it in
Yeah.
and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And the rest is kind of history.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's
Well, that-
such an incredible feeling. So stoked.
It's an epic win, and that's a hard one to win. There's not a lot of dudes around that have won that title. It's a very prestigious title. But here's the thing. I want to jump back to this because we mentioned it in the beginning of the show, Maddie. But your background as an angler is a little atypical. It's not your typical upbringing, like with right here in this room, like Pete and Brian and Dave. We've all bass fished hardcore since we were 8-10 years old, right? Like literally, that's when we started this quest. And you look at a lot of successful young guys now. Look at Wheeler and Jordan Lee, and you look at a lot of these young guys. And they had that same process, right? Started as toddlers almost and began this quest to become a pro angler. But your background is definitely different. I want you to tell everybody a little bit. Give them your background. And I want you to say it again because you told me on the phone. We talked on the phone about a month ago, and you gave me the story. And I literally almost gagged. I almost choked in my spit because it's hard to believe. It's hard to fathom.
3 years.
Yeah, it's hard to fathom. But give us your background.
Sure. Well, I mean, so just like you guys been fishing since you're 8 or 10, whatever. But I've been fishing and addicted to the sport of fishing, not necessarily bass fishing,
Right.
but fishing.
Fishing. Yeah.
I've been addicted to since that's one of my earliest memories.
Right.
I have photos of myself holding my dad's pant leg, clenching a bamboo rod and catching tilapia in Ala Moana beach park at the harbor.
Heck yeah.
And by the time I was 3, I learned how to throw a spinning rod. And by the time I was 8, my dad had the Iowa bait caster, and I was like, I had this goal to learn how to throw a bait caster. We have bass in Hawaii, so born and raised on the Oahu, on the island of Oahu. My home lake there is Lake Wilson in Wahiawa, and we got peacock bass, we have largemouth bass, and there was a couple other fisheries around, and this other place called Ho'omalahia. It's a fun tongue twister, but there was incredible amounts of smallmouth in there.
Wow.
And so from the time I was 8 to 13 or 14, there was close to state record smallmouth inside of this one little I would say overflow pond small lake. But yeah, totally unconventional because I grew up free diving and spearfishing. In high school I would spearfish competitions, and I would fish for ulua, which is GTs, giant trevallies. We would do a whole different technique where it's called slide bait, where you actually you're casting 12-foot rods with 4/0 Penn Senator boat reels and 8 to 10 ounce leads. So the whole swim bait thing came pretty natural. I'm casting big baits and whatnot. And for me, I was able to connect all these similarities and all these different techniques. I was just talking the other night with Bailey and Andy with Serious Angler and how whipping for goggle eye, we call them akule back home. And there's these tasty little saltwater fish, a bait fish basically. And the first time I ever casted a Carolina rig was actually one with a 15-foot leader that you use 6-pound tests, and you're finessing through this massive school that's sitting out in 50 feet of water in the middle of a harbor.
Oh.
And so for me, when I moved to California in 2013, and I realized I was like, wow, I'm actually in the one of the meccas of bass fishing. Maybe not for the industry, but I'm actually in a place where now I can actually fish seasons.
Yeah. Because
growing up, I was probably one of the only kids in the 90s watching Bill Dance and Roland Martin on VHS in Hawaii. And but I also had a Bassmaster subscription, and so it, for me, I can actually fish a season now. Because a lot of people also don't understand. It's Hawaii, we don't have the season. We have summer, and then we have wet summer. Like that's our winter season. Yeah, the waves get big and like that's surf time. And I mean, and then but that's on like during the winter time, North Shore gets big, and during the summertime, South Shore gets big. But and then it gets slightly colder. But like even the bass there, like the largemouth, you can never get them on a pattern. Well, you'll find a largemouth on a bed, but when it comes to like finding peacock on a bed, like there's May, June, July, August, you'll find peacocks on the bed.
Right.
Maddie, I gotta ask, when they don't have a spawning season in Hawaii? How do you
the largemouth?
Yeah, how do you determine when they're spawning?
This is something that that's a good question. I'm still trying to figure it out because I haven't seen it. I personally believe they just spawn deeper because they get pushed out for competitive space because peacock bass they're cichlids. They're a way more savage species when pushing around largemouth bass. Like if a bass came up to want a fauna area, a peacock bass is going to push that bass out of that area. So I think the largemouth spawn out deeper. I think that obviously they're related to a moon cycle. But it's tough because again, I've never, in my knowledge, caught a Hawaiian largemouth off of a bed. I've caught a lot of largemouth in Hawaii, but the visibility is not that great. But it's really hard I've never caught a bedfish in Hawaii.
Wow,
interesting.
Largemouth.
Super
Like
interesting.
what? Yeah, what would be their season? Like down in Florida when it's warm a lot, they spawn for like 4 or 5 months.
They
6
do.
months.
I'm assuming it would be the same thing. I think they just spawn throughout the year whenever like the conditions and then the moon phases line up. I think that's when they go.
Yeah. And they have a fall spawn too
Yeah.
in Florida.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. It's
And on the
interesting.
Chesapeake.
Oh, Chesapeake.
I mean,
don't
same
believe
thing.
that.
Like Castaic Lake in California, like if it's a full moon and it's kind of warm out, like I've seen fish like going up to spawn in October.
It's crazy.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just one of and same. I don't know. I was listening to you guys, your talk with Oliver, and he said, don't something amongst the lines like don't listen to anyone who speaks in absolutes, and it's so true, man, because there's certain things that people say like, oh yeah, you're not going to find a bedfish after like this month, or like you can't catch them in that because that's the temperature window that they eat that bait in here. It's like, man, fish don't read books.
Yeah, that's true.
There's always a way to find the exception to the rule.
Yeah, the only absolute going on right now is fishing in South Jersey sucks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one fish will win your winter league now here in
Yeah,
South
but
Jersey.
they keep going back.
Yeah, but they
Just
keep
keep
going back.
coming on,
Right
guys.
now.
Yeah, that's the only absolute.
I want to fish right now. I've just been so busy with trying to set up sponsors and try to set up a bunch of other stuff that basically condense what my life has been in California for the past 9 years and put it into a truck.
Yeah.
Hey, Maddie, how is that going? Right? You've got a lot of you got a big bill coming up. How is the sponsor hunt going? Are people attracted to the Federation winner, going to the classic? Are you having some success in that world right now?
Yes. I would say yes is like the general answer. But then at the same time, the industry it's at a place where, we've had record high numbers in the past 2 years. And I think they're understanding the momentum, but it's being able to turn those views and whatnot into like, how do we sell or like market that towards bigger companies to get bigger sponsor dollars and XYZ. So it's just like finding the right, the right space to be able to partner with like brands that can oh, look, we love what you do, but then, we can support you financially this much or this much and this much.
Right.
But it's been really good. I'm really lucky to announce that Megabass is going to be my title sponsor.
Heck yeah.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you. I was with Megabass since 2018, and I was actually producing images for them. As I started to do progressively better in the tournament things, they're like, it was just cool because after the win, he texted me. He's like, "Hey, Megabass is in your corner. Let us know when the dust settles. Let's talk." And so that's really cool that they stepped up to the plate. And then Lateral Vision as well, which is a local brand in Southern California, who believed in me. When I just started my YouTube, when I just started basically trying to chase the California Bass Nation Trail, and they were supporting me, and now I want to be able to bring them along with me, man, and take them to the Classic. And they're also a really cool company, really cool brand. They make some great lifestyle stuff.
That's awesome. And I talked to you about this on the phone, but you definitely have something a lot of anglers don't. Dave, if you were Maddie's manager and you were out there selling Maddie, how would you sell him, Dave? I mean, look at Maddie. Look at him. Look at this handsome man.
That's where I would start off with. I'd say you go to these ugly southern rednecks.
Right.
I got a handsome island kid with a shag haircut that will sell some shit for you.
Right.
He's articulate.
Right.
3 years, look what he's done. What is that buck tooth that you're throwing trucks and boats at down there? And what's he done for you?
I like that we have to throw other people under the bus.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sell my guy.
Yeah, you're the manager. You have to sell. You have to sell. Yeah.
Brian, you're hired.
That's even better. He knows me.
It's so awesome. But it's true, Pete. I think you have to build a brand and you have to sell yourself to separate yourself from other people. And I think Maddie's got that.
He's got. I was watching Maddie some of your YouTube stuff, and
Cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing the Ouachita stuff. I don't know if it's out yet, but I couldn't find it. But I watched you fish with Kevin Short. In the All American, and I'm like, wow, he's got like this deep booming voice. Just a lot of charisma, a lot of easy to listen to. I think you're going to have a good time attracting sponsors.
Yeah.
I think you've got a lot to offer there.
Yeah, and I told you this on the phone, but you should not feel bad about capitalizing on what makes you different, right? What makes you stand out. Like they're good things. I learned it the hard way because I've told this story before on the show, but in the beginning of my career, I remember trying to fit in, and when you want to be a part of something so bad, you sort of compromise sometimes who you are, and dress like.
I was so happy to see you wearing khakis with your shirt tucked in. I
was
dying.
Khakis, shirt tucked in.
I loved it.
I mean,
that wasn't you.
You're right, but I think like as I learned and as my career went on, it's a positive to be different, and it's a positive to stand out, and you shouldn't be ashamed to leverage that. You know what I mean?
So you're saying he should do like every lure he sells, like being a gnarly tube, like.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying,
holding the bait while he's surfing.
That would be cool. But I'm not saying
nose ride on the
that would be pretty cool.
Ride with it.
I'd like to
Give me
see
some
that.
good ideas. Give me some good ideas.
Dude, that's the move. You know how Ike has the Hobie kayak on the top of his truck? You need to have a surfboard
Hell yeah.
permanently mounted up there, man.
Hell
You gotta
yeah.
go. You gotta go surf Lake Gunnersville.
Oh man, I want to go surf like Lake Erie or something. I actually have a couple of friends. Like one of my friends from Hawaii is actually out east, and he sent me a couple videos of I forgot which one of the Great Lakes, but there's actually surf out there. If there's a big enough windstorm, the fetch is long enough where you can get long interval swell. So it's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, I've surfed.
Pete,
I've
do
surfed
you
my
get that
bass cat
lingo?
there.
Do you get that lingo?
Yeah, the fetch.
Yeah.
And what's the other terms? The height and the.
Yeah, so you have wave interval, right?
Yep.
So you have the wave height, which is obviously the height of the wave from the trough to the crest, and then you have the interval, which is from the trough to the next. I guess it would be the next from when the one of the wave passes the buoy and it comes back down from that start to the next
From trough to
set,
trough.
next wave, trough to trough.
I like a long interval. Short intervals are scary.
Short
in a
intervals
bass
suck.
boat
I agree.
on-
I agree.
Long
I'm all
intervals
about
are
that.
good. Troughs
long
are good.
interval
Big troughs are good.
The short intervals are like where Lake Ontario meets the St. Lawrence River when the wind's blowing really hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they are
Pure and
stacked
wave.
right next to each other.
That's where I
What-
thought we were going to die that one time.
Yeah.
What's it called when like a fat Howley wears a T-shirt and he belly surfs, does body surfing? What's that called? Well,
It's called getting kicked out of the water.
Because that's about the most surfing I've ever done.
I was going to say my terminology for big waves is a little simpler. There's shit and oh shit. You know? They're both bad.
What did you do? What did you do before this this success?
Well, I've had a couple different careers in my life, in my short life so far. You know, growing up in Hawaii, I've enjoyed being an entertainer. I actually sang in a barbershop chorus with my dad.
Heck
Barbershop
yeah.
quartets, yeah.
Heck yeah.
That's amazing.
And my dad still actually sings with that same chorus. They're called Sounds of Aloha chorus, and he still sings in a quartet.
Nice.
And from there, I was playing saxophone through school, because in Hawaii they give you an option. You can either take music, or you can take music. You can take so a language, I should say, sorry, or you can take music. And so I didn't want to take Spanish or Japanese or anything like that. And I was like, well, if I could just play my saxophone in band, then that'd be great. And so I was like the undercover band geek. And I played saxophone from like middle school through high school. And then after I got out of high school, I got picked up by one of the local bands, and then I started gigging around. And that was a career for, almost 9 years. I had this one band that we were together for 5 years. They were called the Deadbeats, and we had it was jazz, hip hop, funk. And so I know you have like a little bit of a backstory on breakdancing.
Yeah.
I got to open up for Mos Def, Black Star, Common, Jurassic 5, a couple like the underground hip hop scenes.
Heck yeah.
So that was really fun. And then also, with the whole just enjoying entertaining, I would do like radio voiceovers. I would do commercials in Hawaii. Like I've done like a pizza commercial, like Taco Bell commercial, that kind of stuff. And then I wanted to be on TV. I wanted to be an actor. And so I started going to like acting school and doing the whole thing. While I was still in college, I was studying film, and got arrested on Hawaii 5-0. I played like this surfer stoner bro when I had my long hair. And,
wow.
That's a fun one. You guys could go on YouTube. That Maddie Wong gets arrested. It's
oh man.
But then then I ended up I moved out to California. My dad, my grandmother passed away, and so it was kind of this this heavy time where life kind of shifted a little bit. And I realized that when I was in film school, I wasn't really learning much, and I knew that it was going to be, if I wanted to work in this industry, it was, you just gotta go for it, because your experience is going to be way more worth any type of schooling you can do. And so when I asked my dad, I'm like, hey, would you mind if I moved to California? And he's like, go. And I'm like, wait, really? And he's like, yeah, go for it. You can always like finish later or something. So I dropped out of film school. And in 2012, I saved up enough money where I bought a one-way ticket, and I shipped my car to LA, and I packed my bags and I moved. And that was like one of the most scariest experiences of my life.
Yeah.
Because leaving the comfort of Hawaii, where like I have warm water and the beach 10 minutes away from my house, and like being able to go and harvest mahi whenever I want, or like be able to go to Lake Wilson and go catch bass, like and all my friends that I've grown up with, like, so that was a big change for me. So moving to LA, and grinding it out in LA, trying to just make it as like, whatever, saxophonist, actor, commercial model, whatever. I've done so many different things. And so, but the one thing that stuck with me through all of it is my love and my passion for fishing.
Yeah.
And that's just the one thing that I always took seriously, but I never like, just the pipe dream of competing, or the pipe dream of being able to do this professionally. Like YouTube at the time was still like, kind of like obviously growing. You had guys like the Guggen Squad and everyone like making it on YouTube, but I was like, I don't know if that's, the route I want to go. And it was just something in the back of my mind. And so when I was able to, with the photo world, so I ended up after a couple years doing the whole acting thing, and I just the rejection. So I got really good at losing, right? I got really good at saying, you know what, Maddie, you're not good for this role because you're not Chinese enough, or you're not white enough, or like we don't like your hair color, or just like, what? Come on, guys. And so it's like checking the expectation and also just knowing that like, all right, you know, whatever. And then someone asked me, hey, you want to assist in the photo world? Like we'll pay you $400 and it's a 10-hour day, and I'm going to teach you some stuff, you know, behind the camera in photography. And I was like, oh, I don't have to audition for this. Like, this is like just as good as almost like a voiceover rate. Like I'm down.
Yeah.
And so I love photography. I've always been doing it, and I was shooting my own stuff. And then I was able to dive into the world of assisting. And I worked my way up from a fourth all the way to a first, and into a lighting director, which I did for, you know, a total of, like 8 years, another almost 8 years. And where I got to, it's funny being in Vegas, I actually see my work on the billboard on MGM Grand. So like with Jamie Foxx. So it's, I've done like a bunch of high-end commercial, ad, fashion, beauty, lighting, and photography. And then, which gave me the ability and the freedom to be able to go and fish as much as I wanted to, because my own company, being able to choose and pick my own clients, it was great because I'd be like, actually, no, I have to be up at Nacimiento from this date to this date. So I actually can't do that job, but here, let me hook you up with someone who can.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, well, good luck catching fish on your boat. Like, you know, it's it's like people, and it's funny because people in the photo industry, they don't really understand it, like bass fishing, you know. They're like, so what do? Do you eat the fish? You know?
Do you race? Do you race the boat? Yeah,
we heard that.
I know.
So I asked the question because I had a suspicion he was going to be successful at anything that he's ever tried.
Yeah.
Right? Musicians are some of the smartest people on earth. That's a fact. That's undeniable. Like I guess it's no shock that it only took him 3 years to figure this out.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
There's an intellectual component to this, and that gets underrated.
Let's go there. It took you 3 years to figure this out. What's the secret, man? Like, what's the secret sauce?
Pete's still trying to figure it out.
Pete's still trying to figure it out. And by the way, Pete also does voiceover work for drunk.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes, for Drunk Santa Claus. He's really good at doing drunk Santa
Which I can be
voiceover.
seen at your hotel later on this evening at the card table. Apparently.
Right, he'll be at the craps table.
knocking over the trash cans.
Yeah, he'll be the one laid out on the craps table.
Oh man.
So what's the secret? How did you get to where you're at in 3 years?
Yeah, because that's a
tough.
quick learning curve. I mean, even with Dave, I agree with you. Successful people have it. They have something there, and Maddie, you have that. But even with that, dude, that's unheard of. 3 years.
I know.
That's unheard of. Like for a typical business, Beck, what's the rule in business? Is it 5 years, Pete? 6 years? 5 years. Even for a business, there's a 5 or 6 year point before you stop losing money and you break even and get successful. So 3 is incredible.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
I feel that I'm incredibly blessed and incredibly lucky. But thank you. I'll just say that. So that's my the one side I just always need to. For me, I pride myself so much of growing up in Hawaii, being humble and understanding that there's always people that work harder than you out there. And everyone has their own different story and their own different path that they go. Yeah. So one, I'm incredibly humbled that I've been able to be this successful within 3 years. But you know, in this day and age, it's incredible the amount of information that is readily available at your fingertips.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bashu TV.
That's true.
Shout out to Bashu TV. Yes. Which is funny that you actually bring that up is while I was researching for the Ouachita River, I was doing some YouTube research, and there's not a lot of footage on Ouachita. If you go and actually go and search it, you got like couple guys that go out and they're like throwing fin bait. And they're like, "Oh yeah, the best," like, up and by you, just like wrenching on fish. And I'm like, "Oh, they're using shiners or whatever." But like, so I'd have to like, I think it's important because you can have. There's so much information now, right?
Yeah.
YouTube and Bass U, it's incredible. So I what I was doing, so I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm pretty ADD. If you guys haven't picked up by now, but I was researching Kevin. I was actually listening to when Kevin Pink, when K Short was talking about his cranking, because I knew that it was going to be a player on the Ouachita, and he was talking about one of his favorite conditions was like post frontal bluebird skies. And when everyone else would think like, oh, well, overcast with slight wind and da 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 da, and like that was actually like something like I'll have these weird things that kind of just chime into my head at random points throughout a day where I don't know what like how my memory works and will recall, but it would just plop in and I'll hear a voice in my head. I'll be like, yes, okay, right here, and then it all comes together and connects. And so that was one element, but you know, I've spent so much time on the water my whole life, being connected to whether it's the ocean, whether it's a river or a lake, just being on the water, watching how fish react. I grew up with fish tanks. I grew up with the fish in my room my whole life, as long as I can remember too. I also had like a 50-gallon fish tank in my room with like an arowana like this big. And so like even watching predatory fish, you know, just the sound of water is also just so relaxing and zen for me. Yeah. It's something so therapeutic. But for me, I'm competitive. You know, I grew up, I played soccer, then I played inline hockey in Hawaii, and then I surfed competitively. I did all these different things. So it was just like all the different things like added up. Like I love fishing. I've dedicated my life to it. And I'm like, in the past, basically since I moved to California, I was able to really dive into bass fishing because in Hawaii, we only have a handful of techniques that we can do year round. Like when you say like throwing a drop shot in Hawaii, yeah, it'll get bit, but a lot of my friends back home don't drop shot. It's you just a technique you don't do. You know, swim baits was a thing that wasn't really there. Like even a couple years back, like no one threw big baits, and now like some guys are throwing glides and stuff, which is really cool. And then you know other techniques that like punching. Oh my gosh, like it when I first got my uncle's boat in the end of 2015 going into 2016, I spent my first 2 years with that boat up on the California Delta. I told myself before I fished my first tournament, I wanted to know and I wanted to have the confidence in myself that I can catch them and that I wasn't going to just donate.
Right.
And that's why I wanted to put in the strokes and put in the time on the water. So I kept my boat up in San Jose, which is 5.5 hours from Los Angeles. This girl I was dating at the time, her dad had this Tundra that he's like, hey, I don't use it half the time. If you take me fishing once in a while, I'll let you use it. And I'm like, deal. So I was like, done. So what I did was whenever I had a break in the photo industry, whether it was like even 5 days, I would shoot up north and I would stay at her parents' house. She wouldn't even be there half the time. And I would get the truck and I would go boom, straight to the Delta. And I would spend 8 to 12 hours on the water, on the Delta, learning how to fish the tide, learning how to fish the high tide, learning how to fish low tide. I learned how to fish a frog there. I learned how to punch there. I learned how to throw a chatterbait there. I learned how to throw a Senko there. Like I didn't know what a Senko was until like 2014. Because like growing up, like I knew what a man's worm was because that's what was around. But like I also took a break because like playing music and like doing all that other stuff, you know, it kind of got away from bass fishing. And so when it re-hooked me again when I got to California, like, you know, someone showed me a Whopper Plopper and a Senko, and I was like, one, that's a ridiculous name. And two, like, what? Like, what is this crazy stick bait?
Maddie, question just came across on YouTube. 1N or 2 in man's worm?
Oh, what?
1N or 2?
one N or two N's in
Yeah.
man's? Is that what the question
Yeah,
is?
man's worm.
It's the two ends.
Okay.
I guess in Hawaii,
You got it correct.
they call it man's worm. Here we call it going to the supply closet with Father Carmine.
Father Carmine.
Dude, man's worm with two ends. Yeah. This guy, you guys got some jokers, man.
I know. So we gotta keep us on our toes over here. I don't ever know what's going to happen.
I have a rapid fire because people have sent some questions in.
Oh,
So,
you do?
So
Oh, okay.
I have
Well,
put
like-
them into this beautiful Word document.
Okay. Well, you
Are
got
you ready for this, Maddie?
Okay.
This is rapid
on.
fire, so you don't have to elaborate. Just answer the questions because some of them are very interesting.
Oh no.
Some are very normal.
Oh no.
All right. So what is your Cali personal best? California
That's
personal
a
best
good question. That's a normal
Mike,
question.
let him
It's
answer.
a 9-2.
9-2.
That's a
Okay.
good one.
Do you get lonely? I can't make
I
this
get
shit up. It's
Who?
it's honestly on the feed. Do
Who
you
sent that one?
Do you get lonely? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you eat at restaurants by yourself?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, obvious. I mean, if you watch my travel vlog, I do it. And it was
Apparently they do.
There's no shame eating by yourself.
What
No.
what West Coast secretive technique are you going to bring to the house?
I got a couple under my sleeve.
Ah.
Oh, you're not gonna share?
Oh.
Oh no.
You have to be.
Why would it
It's
be a
like
secret
life.
technique if I'm gonna share it? Come on.
Okay. What is Maddie's favorite bait to throw at Castaic?
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh,
he's
that's
trying
a
to
good
get the juice.
Yeah.
He or she's trying to get the juice. Castaic is like such a finesse place. I would have to say either a Neko or a drop shot.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
What arm of the lake is better to fish?
Oh man.
Oh, get out of here.
Wow.
No, I would say it depends on a trout stock, depends on the wind, depends on the time of year, also depends on the water level. So there's a bunch of different factors that run into there, but the ski arm.
The
Okay.
ski arm. Ah.
Bad move, Maddie.
Yes or
It's gonna
no?
have 50 boats tomorrow in the ski arm.
Exactly. I'm like, I don't fish Castaic anymore. Good luck, fellas.
Burn it down, bro.
All right.
Burn it down.
Last one. Yes or no? Does Maddie identify as a West Coast angler defined by finesse or giant baits and nothing in between?
Huh.
Oh,
That's a good
no,
question.
no. I do not. I'd like to say I'm pretty well rounded. Learning from guys that knew Aaron. I never got to meet Aaron, but a lot of the guys that I got to, learn from, and a lot of guys that were my mentors knew Aaron personally, and so he was not just an incredible finesse fisherman. He was also an incredible, frog fisherman, flipper, like puncher. And so for me, like I said, when I was on the Delta, I wanted to become sufficient in every technique possible.
Yeah.
So I knew that when I rolled onto a new body of water, that I had all the tools in my toolbox to go to work.
Yeah.
I love throwing big baits. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy it. I caught a 20-pound carp in the mouth with Oliver like 2 years ago on a big bait, on a Defiant
What?
210.
In the
What?
mouth?
Yeah, it ate it. Yeah.
Wow.
The hell?
That's dope.
Yeah,
Unheard of.
it's pretty funny. You can watch it on my YouTube. I love throwing a rip bait. I think a jerk bait is probably one of my favorites. It's something that I've thrown my whole life. It's a technique that in Hawaii is extremely effective because the water's warm throughout the year. I just think that it triggers such a special response in fish that's so undeniable year round. And so I think it's funny when people are like, well, that's a springtime bait or that's a fall bait or something. I'm like, keep thinking that, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it all. I love throwing a jig in 50 feet. I love throwing dirt shallow with a spinnerbait. I love throwing, Carolina rigging is funny because it's something that I grew up doing, throwing in the surf for papio or juvenile trevally. And that was actually the very first time I knew how to tie a Carolina rig when I was 8 years old, but I never fished it on the bottom. It was something that it's just one thing we also didn't do in Hawaii in the freshwater, but it's an incredibly effective mid-water column technique in the salt.
Maddie,
And,
Maddie, you're
yes.
losing focus on your rapid fire.
Sorry. Okay, rapid fire.
That was the last question. That was the last question. So he was allowed to go long. I would have cut him off because I'm rude like that. But your arrest video is on the feed.
Yeah,
Mike
it is.
P put
Mike
that up for
P,
everyone.
Thank you for putting that up there. If everybody wants to.
He brings a smart crowd to the IM board.
Yeah.
They actually know how to attach videos.
I know.
Hey, I love
Type
it, man.
words.
Hey, it's funny. There's a bunch of stuff on the internet. People have fun doing it, man. I'm in a different place in my life. I'm so grateful that I've had all those experiences, like the fact that I got to say that I'm a SAG-AFTRA actor and got to work with a bunch of celebrities and whatnot. But that's
Mike
a
is
chapter.
too. We get a check every once in a while for about $2.
75 cents.
Yeah.
$2 once every, was it a quarter? Not even a
Man,
quarter.
if they go above $2, I'm like,
Yeah.
what? We're
That's
rich.
Like, dinner's on me, babe.
Yeah.
Well, hey Matt,
For life.
Don't give up on trying to get on the TV. I mean, Tommy Sanders and Height, they're both pretty long in the tooth. You put 3 or 4 years in on the trail, make a name for yourself. Don't make anybody mad. You never know.
I enjoy it all. I actually just read recently for a role like less than a year ago, and it was like it's for a new show that's coming out. It's a story about North Shore surfing and lifeguards, and they're like must be able to speak pidgin, must be able to be comfortable in big waves, and I'm like check. I'm like, come on, I know all these guys, and so. I didn't get it, but it perfectly worked out because I was able to go and fish the nationals.
Matt, I always wondered this, and I've wondered this a lot because I think it would be hilarious to have this job when they're looking for odd roles, right?
Yeah.
Is it like a one ad where they'll put like looking for overweight underachiever, like did you know how like in Hollywood they have those guys that just are like they're always the villain, right? They're always the greedy, gross villain. Like how is that described when you're looking and looking for an audition?
It's actually a great question.
Yeah, it's like being a casting director, right? So I which I've done as well too. I've done like I did it for a short, like we were doing a pre-contact Hawaiian short film back in 2012, and it actually went to film festival and was called Until the Sun Sets. I basically, you put out these general like crew calls, we call them cattle calls, of like looking for age 18 to 24 male, so for that they have these websites called like Casting Frontier and like Actors Access, where everyone has their own like profile, and you have your strengths and whatnot, and it's so much about connections in Hollywood, and just, when you're like that typecast, when you're that guy, like that's all you do.
Yeah.
And so for me, when I started getting arrested on TV, so Hawaii Five-0 was one, the other one's not up on the YouTubes, but it's a show called Perception. It was like another NCSI kind of a show, and I played like an Asian gangster, and I had like my long hair, and I like tied it up in a bun, and I beat up some guy, and
nice.
It's actually kind of a funny story too.
You don't work here anymore.
But yeah, I just knew that I was making I was a good villain or I was a good bad guy on the screen, and I was like, man, I don't want to be that guy, I don't want to be that guy that everyone's like, hey, dude, I see you get arrested on that show.
You're not trying to be the millennial Tong Po.
Just like, right? Man.
I said you're not trying to be the millennial Tong Po. You remember the movie Bloodsport? The bad guy Tong Po?
Yeah, he was
young.
badass.
I'm sorry.
Was that his name?
Tong Po.
That wasn't.
He was the one that had the glass. He dipped his hands in the glass with the glue.
That wasn't from Kung Fu Panda.
No. That was Ty.
Yeah, what's his name?
No, the dude from Bloodsport was badass.
He
was badass.
Tong Po.
He was jacked. I'm horrible with celebrity names.
Yeah, I got you.
Unfortunately, plus it's
Dave
way
remembers
his time.
all this stuff.
Yeah,
it's before your time, Maddie.
He does. Maddie, we've got approximately 2 months, give or take, maybe a hair more, before the start of the season. From a fishing standpoint, what's the mindset? We've talked a lot about business. We've talked a lot about other stuff, but this, because I'm asking you because I want to know because I'm thinking about it too, right? You know, I'm engaged in the same thought process. But, you know, here we are. It's December, second week of February. It starts, right? It's right around the corner. What's your mindset preparing for the fishing season?
One, I'm not trying to bite off more than I can chew.
Yeah.
Right. So obviously, like my heart, I naturally want to go to start studying for the Classic, and I want to start diving into that. I've researched a decent amount, but like just enough where I was like, okay, I got a taste, but my focus right now is Florida.
Right.
And so I guess for mentally, I just have so many irons right now in the fire, just trying to wrap up like before I get on the road, trying to make sure that all my gear is in order. I still I'm placing, you know, orders with Megabass and trying to make sure all of my arsenal's all lined up and ready to go. I just sent in a bunch of my reels to get service. So it's for me, like when I get this boat on Monday, I'll be able to actually like physically see it, get in it, be able to start putting on some electronics, start to organize it in a certain way. I've never had a boat that had a rod locker that can actually fit a rod over 6'2".
Wow.
Damn.
That's awesome.
You know, I fished my bass, but like my old Ranger, I fished it as basically as a co, and it wasn't until my buddy Hoy actually helped me put in a center storage, which helped me tremendously on a Ouachita. I literally before, like when I fished the regional qualifiers, I'd bring my co bag and I would put it in my boat, and then I would basically, you know, use my tools that I had out there, and all my baits and all my rods were on the deck. So I was like, I'm as open book as possible, boys. And so, you know, for me, so it's just like knowing that I have this new sled, knowing that I'm going to have all this new equipment and whatnot, but I'm not going to, you know, lose track of like, okay, what are those, the confidence baits? What are those certain techniques? And what are those things that I default to that I know I can catch a fish on when I have it in my hand? And focusing really on Florida. I got the opportunity to fish this, any of the opens that I wanted to, because my buddy Taylor Smith, who ended up, I think, in second place at the Nationals, turned it down. So I was like, okay, I'll take that. And I'm fishing the Southern Opens.
Nice.
So I'm
nice.
I got one event. I you know, did it because after I talked to a couple people like John Cruz and Randy Pearson, they're like, dude, if you have an opportunity to fish the Opens, dude, like as long as it lines up with your schedule and you're not going to overload yourself, dude, just do it.
Yeah.
I've never fished an Open, and I know they're incredibly challenging. I know that you know that the field is super rough, but I thought that it would be a perfect warm up into Florida fishing, because I've never been to Florida to fish. I've been there to light a job, you know, a couple years ago, but I never got to wet a line there. And two, I'll learn kind of my workflow on the new Ranger.
Right.
So it's gonna work as like a perfect like warm up.
And that's right on the front side of the first event.
Exactly.
Right.
So I'll also be really kind of tuned in with like, or at least understanding weather, also understanding like tannic water, or like the Florida tannic water, how those fish set up in certain like different combinations of grass and whatnot. Learning, I mean, I'm excited because it's kind of like the Delta, right?
Yeah.
But then you also got poisonous snakes and gators, so that's a whole different thing.
All right, when you pick up your new Ranger, are you going to, you know, talk to Johnny Morris about how you feel that money should have been allocated to the pro tournament trail?
Don't get me started.
He said he didn't want to piss anyone off.
Yeah, I want to stay in everyone's good graces, but
what fun is that?
Yeah, but you know what?
This room's not good at that.
With your track,
All right, guys, have a good night.
Maddie Wong, everybody.
Maddie Wong has left the chat. You know, it's crazy because guys that won it previous years, like Randy, for instance, he got a truck too. Like this year, I didn't get a truck. Not that I'm complaining. I'm definitely not complaining. I'm super stoked that I get to run a Ranger 520, which has been a boat of my dreams, like ever since I was a little kid.
Hey, but so is a truck.
would still be a new Tundra,
Yeah. What's up with
which
that?
has also been incredibly hard to get. And so the fact
Oh, what's that?
and-
What's that called? That's
Kansas.
What are those issues?
COVID issues?
Microchip
first world problems. Yeah.
First, supply chain.
Supply chain.
Oh,
Supply chain.
No, it's definitely supply chain. I mean, it sucks that I think California. I got this loose number that they're only receiving 61 of the new Tundras, like for the whole state. 61.
That's
Like,
crazy.
are you kidding? Like one small, one county in California can wipe out 61 new Tundras.
Oh,
Wow.
You know, and
damn.
That
And
means
so-
Jersey's getting 3.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jersey's getting 3.
It's
Shit, I gotta
wild.
get my oil changed.
I don't. I have a Forerunner right now that I'm going to limp back this 20-foot boat, and I hope I'm going to try and figure something out. Hopefully something will come through. It's one of those things where it's definitely urgent. It's on my urgent list. It's important and it's urgent. So I would say that's the last piece of the puzzle that's been one of the bigger stressors right now.
Maddie, did you see my story today?
No, man, I've
No,
And,
I tagged you in it.
walking around in
I mean,
Vegas.
okay. I mean, I tagged your ass in it. All right, it's cool.
No,
Yeah, with
sorry.
the vans, no, just skipped right past that. All right, you're lost, homie. The key was right there. A van, bro. Get yourself a van.
Oh.
That's old school.
Oh man, yeah. I'm not against that as long as like the tow cap and the payload I think is an important weight number.
Somebody will pull you out.
I have a great
Crack
idea.
Lefevre for a van.
You could.
Towing.
Lefevre did it.
You
Fire
guys-
and Velvic did it.
Carvana lets you drive a car for 7 days, and then they'll even let you return it after the 7 days.
There you
so
go,
you
Maddie.
just need to keep buying cars from Carvana and just returning
There
them
you
after
go.
7 days.
Every 7 days. And that's a
That's
and you
tournament.
can get out the vending machine, the
And
car
it's a
vending machine.
tournament week. A tournament week is
Right.
7 days.
Yeah, right.
So it works
you
perfect.
so like on a Sunday, just get yourself a new car, and then in
Yeah.
7 days, be like,
Yeah.
I don't want this anymore.
Yeah.
Get
Well,
the
it's better
Yeah,
than James
Yeah.
Watson rented a U-Haul last year, the whole year. So it's better than that.
Did he
you know?
really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He was at
Dude,
every
wow.
tournament backing up at the ramp in the morning in a U-Haul. It
That's
was
amazing.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so great.
Why did we not see any of this?
Yeah. I don't know.
How
Why
come
did
none
that-
of that was
I
on
did that
anyone's
one
social
time.
media?
Yeah. I know. We should have
did it one time.
documented that. I don't know.
Oh,
No, the weather's-
God.
There might be photos out there. We'll have to-
Might be.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's so cool, man. I
If I
mean,
did
yeah.
that
I
shit-
mean, there's definitely, my will's there, so there's a way.
There you
go.
It's gonna happen.
But
So
judging
I'm-
on your past and your success in everything you do, you'll win a big event, and you'll be not even fishing in 2 years. You'll be CEO of some company. Too. So I guess good news for everybody else that has to compete against you.
Oh man, thanks, dude.
Yeah, I got it.
I hope that I'm just excited more so to learn. The next couple of years, my goal is I want to requalify for the Classic for 2023, and then I want to be able to. I mean, obviously aiming for the AOY for the Rookie of the Year would be super rad, and then I just want to learn. I'm so incredibly grateful to be able to learn from the best in the world, man.
Yeah.
Like Mike, I'm stoked to be able to like hang out and pick your brain, and
No,
Yeah.
it's gonna be an awesome year for you. I feel a connection with you because of the national win. It like I said, it means a lot. There's not a lot of us that have been able to do that and then continue on at the higher level like you're doing. So, Maddie, you've had great success. I have a feeling, Pete. Do you agree with me? I have a feeling Maddie's going to do really good.
I'm excited.
I got a feeling. I'm very excited to see
I'm gonna
what
be
transpires here. I'm going to be watching too. I'll be
Oh, man.
watching. Now,
I'm the
I'll let
back
you
row,
finish ahead of me a few times, but I'm a competitor, so I got.
I know. Well, so he wouldn't give up the secret juice.
Well, I
man.
know. I'm going to
wonder
pry
what
and
it is.
I'm going to pry and find out on my own, and then I'm not going to give it away either. You know what
I
I
was
mean?
gonna say.
I'm going to keep it for myself. Maddie, thanks for taking time out. I know you got a lot of stuff going on. You got a wedding you're going to, but man, we loved having you on the show. It was great hearing your story. I think a lot of people, I've been watching a little bit, been eyeballing the chat room. A lot of people are supporting you. It's a great story. A lot of people are going to follow in your footsteps and work hard and try to do exactly what you did. So very inspirational.
Man, thank you so much. Thank you so much again for like having me, and I'm so stoked, man. I'm pumped because I've been watching you guys doing Ike Live and Bass U for a couple of years now, and so to be able to hang out with you and talk story and talk about next year and kind of a little bit about myself and about my past, like I'm so happy and I'm so humbled, and so thank you for having me on. And yeah, I'm it's crazy because it's as much as bass fishing is like this like singular, like yeah, it's something I did, duh, like I want this, duh, like for me it's such a group thing.
Yeah.
Because you can't just learn it all by yourself.
Right.
You learn from everyone, and for me, everyone, like whether it's the guys from the Ventura County Bass Club, whether it was the guys from the California Bass Nation, whether it was guys from back home on Lake Wilson, whether it's my saltwater buddies, whether it's guys from Bass University, for me, this is a group win for Hawaii and the West Coast. And I'm so happy that I have so many incredible people in my corner. And I'm really excited to get the year kicked off, man.
That's awesome.
This really,
well, we really appreciate you, and it's exciting to watch it. But I'd love for you to like say goodbye, like in some pidgin, Hawaiian, aloha.
Pigeon.
Just send us off the way it should be.
There you go.
It's funny because like in pidgin English, everything's so simple. It's literally one word, and it's shoots.
Wow.
Shoots means goodbye?
Shoots. So, which is funny because it's just like aloha, right? So aloha means hello, goodbye, and I love you. There's multiple meanings of aloha. So you'll notice in my YouTube videos, I sign off with aloha because it's such an empowered, beautiful word that has so many different meanings. And there's the ways that you can, say it. So I would say aloha. I would say mahalo nui, which is thank you very much, and aloha.
And I would say to you, mele kaliki maka.
Hey, mele kaliki maka, back to you too, bro. Like, but yeah, no, I would love to be able to speak some pidgin for you guys, but it's I guess I would need a couple beers. Really get it out of me.
Well, we're definitely going to have you back on,
Hey,
and hopefully we can get you intoxicated next time.
What's
Brian.
some good insults?
Oh,
Like
Brian needs them for the bar here.
Yeah, like go fuck yourself. What's that?
I mean, if someone's being like, if someone's like crappy, like if they're
Like
just
the people on the message board that say dumb shit,
yeah, like
and you're not trying to be PC. Nobody's looking.
no, I mean, I think so if something is stink or like, and when I mean stink, it can physically be like rank or like, the smell is stink. But, when someone does something dirty, like steals your car or breaks a window, it's also like a pretty like stink action. So in Hawaii, we call we tell someone that they're pilau, and pilau in Hawaiian means stink or rotten. So like, you'd be like, wow, you one freaking pilau guy, or something. So calling someone pilau, or I don't know.
Stay away from them pilau lap dances over there in
the
Vegas.
fishing in South Jersey is pilau.
Brian, I feel like in pidgin, obviously Hawaiians are a kinder people. They don't have the harsh terms that we have in the Northeast.
Hawaiians are fierce. They will punch you right in the face.
Yeah, they'll punch you in the face, but apparently their words aren't as like.
He just did a whole sentence in one word.
Well, let me. but what Becky's saying is true, because I'll give you a little South Jersey speak while we're here.
Oh no!
Yo, Chad. Yo, Chad. You got the Kevin, Chad. You got to wrap the Eagles. Your friend smacked the Yope.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Your friend smacked the Yope.
That's like two guys from Belmar talking to each other on their mopeds.
I can't even understand it. They got to speak loud because of the moped noise, first of all.
Oh my gosh.
It's terrible.
It's funny because I grew up riding a moped in Hawaii.
But it was a
same,
quieter
but
moped.
different, right? Same, but different. Yeah, it's,
no, moped in Hawaii is way cooler than moped.
Way cooler.
Way
we
cool.
would we would soup them up. I was 14. We would soup them up. We would open up the carburetor, so it'd be like, wow. Yeah, it was a mess. But yeah, mopeds are fun, especially when it's 60 miles per hour.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I feel like they had cute little like European-esque
like
looking like
Vespas.
Vespas.
They weren't.
And
mopeds.
these were like scooters that they somehow like put an engine on to like
Mini
and
bike.
like a pole with like a bike seat on it and like
Yeah,
that's
and-
Jersey style.
And well, Dave's moped didn't even have the bike seat. He just liked the pole up his ass.
Jesus. John Angelucci on his mini bike.
Yeah. John Angelucci pushing his mini bike because it never ran. He was always walking it everywhere.
You know everywhere he's been because the oil stain. It would go
right.
left, right. Oh, there's John.
Yeah, it was always pop chain getting pushed down the street. Everybody-
Pop chain.
Yeah. How you like me now? Angelucci?
Sorry, Maddie.
Maddie, thanks for
Oh,
coming
you
on.
guys are good.
Thanks for coming on the show, man. It was a blast.
My pleasure.
It was a
thank
blast.
You again.
And
I'm
yeah,
looking
great
forward
luck
to,
this year. Yeah, great
thank
luck
you.
this year.
Thank you.
All the best. Aloha.
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 guys.
Did you just
And,
tell Maddie you love him?
Yeah.
and goodbye.
And goodbye. and hello. And hello.
Hey, goodbye.
Look forward to seeing you out on tour.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Maddie
All
Wong,
right, guys.
everybody.
Have a good
Yes.
Hang out.
Good night.
See
You know,
bro.
speaking
Aloha.
of Belmar, we had our own version of like pilau. It was just called
In Bel-
Putinki.
Putinki? In Belmar?
That's what it was. Same thing though.
Yeah.
Meant the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a an offshoot. Maybe someone from Pigeon started Belmanese.
It could be Belmanese. Oh my God. No, here's what's funny about it though. That Belmar thing is very true. Like it filtered to Runnymede and Glendora and Mount Ephraim a little bit.
Gloucester, Brooklawn, Belmar.
Yeah, that whole area. But Pete, growing up in Franklinville
Yeah.
area, right out here, did you notice that too? Was there a South Jersey Franklinville speak or Pittsgrove speak?
Yeah, well, it was different. It was like we're farmers no, we didn't get into any of that.
So there
stuff,
wasn't
you
any
know?
of that. Was there
No.
y'alls or was there?
Don't you do it.
It's just use. Like we
Use.
kind of were
Use
influenced by
guys.
Philadelphia,
Right.
down there.
Yeah, water,
and,
water.
Yeah.
Water.
But I don't.
Water.
Yeah, we were man. We were growing crops, winning football games,
Crops.
Who's growing crops?
wrestling matches.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Everybody from Franklinville's in the union. They're all union
A lot.
contractors,
Some of
carpenters,
our boys are.
electricians.
I tell you what, I wouldn't trade it. I loved growing up down there.
That's funny because I was just going through everyone that I knew and I was like, "What they are?
They're
Everyone I
all
know is
union.
in a union."
Everyone's in a union. Their sons all wrestle.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not bad.
No.
It's not
They
bad.
go to the Jersey Shore on vacation.
Oh, I hate
Yeah.
the Jersey Shore.
I mean, it's
To their trailer, the
Same
trailer
shit.
communities. They all have
Oh, yeah.
little remote trailer communities down out of Cape May.
That's crazy.
We just lumped them all in.
We lumped
We,
everybody together.
we
what
had
we did.
no mopeds.
No mopeds.
No
Dirt
mopeds.
bikes, quads, and trikes.
Yeah, we had dirt bikes and
Yeah.
bikes and bicycles.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Jeeves drove me around.
Jeeves, that's right. Yeah, yeah Jeeves. And they had
Not
The
much
Rolls
has changed.
Royce.
As a fact.
living in Richmond. Bobby, you're going to the river this weekend? The river? They all had river houses. You're going to the river this weekend?
Why do you have to pucker your butt every
don't know.
time you say it?
Want to get a higher river? the river.
Papa, fetch me my car.
I figured for sure we'd all have
I had
jetpacks
a
by
spot
now.
of tea.
Seriously. Right? Remember jetpacks?
Oh, they got a new age jetpack out now.
Jetpack.
Yeah, it's some weird stuff I see on TikTok all the time.
Oh God, what's
These
TikTok?
guys are. I mean, there's something new coming.
What's your favorite dance on TikTok?
Oh.
I don't watch that.
The WAP?
There,
The Smurf?
That's history.
Ah.
It's already on to the next thing. TikTok's already morphed.
The WAP.
You know.
The
Yo.
Smurf.
The alternative news community?
How do we let Maddie off
TikTok is
without
at the
singing?
forefront of it all, dude.
It's at the forefront of a lot right now.
Yeah, man,
It's,
like,
it's
I-
happening
it's
there.
not-
It's happening right
There's
there.
a
right
lot
now.
of truth being dropped on TikTok.
Oh, great.
I like the dog
Jeez.
videos.
Yeah. I do too.
I like the boobies.
On TikTok?
I don't know. I'm just out there requesting.
I'll be careful with that because there's not many like legal boobies on TikTok.
Is there
dude.
not?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't have
Well, no, because
TikTok.
it's a kid-friendly site. So I
Yeah.
don't
Commercial
know.
would be a great thing
No.
to happen right about now.
No, it's clearly Mike is liking and the boobage when it comes across.
Goodness.
Well, I
The
mean,
page.
I'm just saying boobs in general. I like boobs. They're pretty.
You're
I like
going.
boobs.
You're,
Yeah.
it's
It's going down. All right. Listen to me. Great first segment here at Ike Live. Coming up, Brian the Carpenter. Who do we got? We got Billy Egan coming on.
Yeah.
We're going to talk to Billy real quick.
Is he
about,
still coming on?
Billy's coming on. I think we're going to talk about. He's got Aaron's thing coming up in a few weeks.
Yeah.
We're also going to do an MTB unboxing. And who knows?
Oh, we got
Yeah, who knows?
This, that, the other.
Maybe a couple other things. Hang in there with us. When we come back, more Ike Live.
They got about 30 feet of space at Dick's, like on the racks.
yeah.
You know, right now where we're standing, we're in Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is right there. This is the concrete jungle. And, you know, a lot of those kids, as they grow up, they don't fish. It's interesting because they're surrounded by water. You know, the Delaware River, the Schuylkill, ponds, city park lakes. But they don't have the influence to cast, to fish, to have a rod and reel. And that became our focus, you know, is to target kids in what we call non-traditional areas, you know, urban areas, city centers, where the population's high, and let these kids have an experience. You know, it's amazing. I mean, some of the experiences we've had, whether it's Central Park in New York City, here in Camden, other parts of the country, even just casting.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to see it, isn't it?
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
And you know, you see these kids have this experience they've never had, and they light up, you know? The big thing, I think, for the Ike Foundation is we're not saying we want all these kids to become professional anglers.
Yeah.
Be great if some of them did, but we want them to have that fishing experience because it ties them to so many other positive things. The outdoors, nature, conservation. Ecology, you know, all these amazing things in life that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to any other way. We're trying to help with that. So it's important. It's important for us. We're proud of it.
TH Marine has been producing top-of-the-line marine accessories to rig boats from transom to trolling motor for decades. From jack plates to fish care to LEDs, TH Marine has you covered. TH Marine, outfitting your boat from transom to trolling motor.
At Founders Brewing, we asked ourselves, what if we brewed a beer perfect for any occasion? A beer that makes a weekday feel more like the weekend, and the weekend feel more like an adventure. What if we brewed a beer that brought us together and allowed us to be ourselves? A beer that is just as much of a companion as it is a reward at the end of the journey. What if we explored the unknown together and found a new way to celebrate taste and flavor and life's simple pleasures? And what if we brewed a beer that could go where you go without slowing you down? Founders All Day IPA, low ABV and full flavor that goes where you go. Perfect for any occasion.
We're excited to announce our brand new partnership with an amazing company, Heshi Socks. That's spelt Heshi Socks. Go to heshysocks.com to check out my brand new Mike Iaconelli collection. That's right, I have my own custom socks in tournament colors. I promise you, you will never, I mean never, find a more comfortable sock. The great news, all my socks are under $10 a pair when you use our promo code IKE20. Go to heshysocks.com, use the promo code IKE20 to get the most comfortable socks in the world.
Cheese.
Cheese. Hold on, wait. And
Cheese. Cheese is good. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday night.
Did you
I know
say
we
wonderful?
are. Wonderful. Hello.
I heard that.
Hello.
The heck, what are you gargling over there?
I don't know. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday night. Man, I hope you're having fun watching this show tonight. We had a great guest on. Dude, very impressed. I got to be honest with you. Very impressed with Maddie.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, coming on the show, very well spoken, has a plan, put it in place, fishing the elites. It's impressive.
It is
very
impressive.
impressive.
What's really kind of neat, we didn't get into this, but he fished with Kevin Short.
Yes.
Out in Vegas.
K-Pink.
And he used the square bill to win.
He did.
At Ouachita.
He did.
Based on his influence of watching Kevin out there and his other videos.
Yeah.
It's
and watching
interesting.
Kevin on Bash U.
Bash U.
Which
Yep.
was awesome. I wanted to say this to him when Maddie was on, but I saw something when he was fishing that national championship. So I was following it along, and they have the photographers, have the images from the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the images after the second day, because Maddie, I think, had an okay first day, and then the second day he had another decent day, so he started getting up in his division. So they had pictures of him fishing on the second day. Ouachita River, place he's never been.
Red shed culprit.
No, sweatpants. I saw that, and it's funny. Like, I know there's a connection here. Follow me with
Did
this
they
one.
still call them sweatpants?
Yeah, sweats or joggers, whatever they were.
But go ahead. What's the connection?
The connection's this. How many fishing guys, pro or non-pro, have you seen fishing in joggers and sweatpants? None.
I think it's a new thing. It's a new trend, though.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, guys with little dicks are putting sweats on to make it look bigger.
All right. Well, I didn't know
And
that.
I don't
but,
mean that about Maddie, but it's
Yeah.
it's a new trend that I heard
Okay.
about.
Well, but here's what I thought when I saw it.
not about you, man.
All right. Here's what I thought when I saw it. When I saw it, like, I looked at all the pictures, all the dudes, every dude regular, tucked in, bullshit khakis, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I saw Maddie with sweatpants, and I'm like, just felt loose.
Well,
felt like
honestly-
loose and comfortable. And I'm like, that dude's cool. Like he's loose.
Yeah, and again, I didn't mean that.
Yeah. No,
Those-
It's everybody else.
You think about it, right? You're up there having to move efficiently, covered back from front deck to back deck.
Yeah.
I mean, they're athletic pants.
Right.
But you got no
Designed.
pockets. But they lack in the pocket department.
Well,
There's
they
no
could-
side
they're-
pocket. There's no belt to clip
they,
stuff on.
They have some that have pockets.
yeah,
no
bullshit.
belt.
Yeah, but it
they
lets
have
you
some.
move.
Ah.
It lets you move.
I don't think I've ever seen Brian in sweatpants.
I used to rock the shit out of sweatpants back in the '80s when you were supposed to.
Yeah, when you
And
were
then
when you were
technology
dating when you were
advanced.
dating Tina, you wore sweatpants. I
Damn
remember
right
that.
I did. We all wore cut-off sweatshorts.
I don't think Brian played with toys when he was a kid or had sweatpants. Dude.
I don't remember toys.
No toys, no
No,
sweatpants.
because when we were at that age, I remember you didn't have any residue toys still laying around somewhere.
I mean, yeah, I had the
You had, like,
Evil
blow-
Knievel that you wound up and
Blow
jumped
darts
stuff
and
with,
wrist rockets and
what
stuff
you
like
what you
that.
did have though, I remember.
I had sweatpants.
And I in my mind I have a photograph of this. Your room, you had all those posters, the velvety posters.
Had blacklight posters.
That when you put the black light on, they'd all illuminate. You remember that, Pete? You're from the
Yeah,
70s.
yeah,
you remember
dude.
That? Yeah.
You know where he got him at too.
Yeah.
He got him at East.
East, shop called East.
Spencer's.
That and Chinese stars. It's been a great show. We're going to switch gears here, Bri, in a second here. We're going to get our friend Billy Egan on in a second. I don't know if he's on yet, but we're going to cue him up here in a second. Billy's going to come on and talk about a amazing benefit that they're doing for Aaron. And it's really amazing. I've been watching the post, Pete, and he's going to give us the specifics, but the donations coming in from everything from monetary to jerseys. I saw Rick Klund donated jerseys to the guide trips to product, like all this stuff coming in. Dude, it makes me feel good just watching it, that many people are supporting Aaron and his family. And
anybody that Aaron came into contact with
yeah.
was impacted by him.
Yeah, well, look at Maddie. We had Maddie on,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
Maddie never met Aaron
Yeah.
but you could clearly see the impact Aaron had on Maddie.
Yeah.
And they never met, right? And that's we talked about that in our Aaron tribute show, but that's very it's amazing when someone has influence on people like that in a positive way, So, but let's get Billy on because I want to know more about this. This is a big important thing that he's doing. Joining us now on the Ike Live Show, we've got Mr. Billy Egan, Juan Bash joining us. Yes. Hey. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Good. How are you guys? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay. Real quick before we start, I do want to let you know something. I got to fish the U.S. Open this year, Pete.
Yeah.
I loved it. I freaking loved it. It was amazing. It was a dream come true for me.
I want to fish that tournament.
It's such a cool event. And I told Billy when I left, I said, I'll be back next year, because not just from a standpoint of wanting to go back and win. Like, I do. That's a thing that I want to do now. But the way the tournament was run, the meeting, the people, the lodging, the lake, the scene, like the whole thing was I was taken back by it, right? We just to let you know, Billy, Becky and I booked the houseboat this week for the dates. So we will see you again in October. Very excited to come back next fall.
It's awesome. It was awesome to have you. I've been doing this now 11 years, and I've been trying to get you to come out those whole 11 years and to have you come out and be a part of it. And, I always tell everybody that fishes either the U.S. Open or really any of our open tournaments because of the shared weight format, which is so unique and so different. And nobody really knows it unless you're from the West Coast because there aren't many other people that do it. It's an experience that you'll never forget in your lifetime. And you build relationships with people that you've maybe never met before that become people that you are lifetime friends with.
Yeah.
And I always tell somebody, if you fish it once, you'll be back every time because it hooks you up.
I'd agree. I'd agree with that 100%. And I love the challenge of the fishing, but the community there was that feel of a community feel was so awesome. Like, I didn't want that day to be canceled. We had a day canceled. Nobody wanted to sit for a day, but I had so much fun going houseboat to houseboat and talking and chatting and seeing old friends, meeting new friends. Like, that was a fun day off. That's
pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was so cool.
That houseboat alley that you guys are all staying in is a unique experience. Just seeing, because I'll go down and hang out with everybody. We didn't get a lot of time to hang out, but it's an experience down there. Just the camaraderie and the people and the respect that event gets and how it's been built back up to where it's at now. I mean, $100,000 payout tournament, out here on the West Coast, that's a big deal.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a big event. Speaking of past champions and speaking of that event, it's become a benchmark. We've heard it said different ways, but one of the toughest tournaments to win, right? It's like the Ironman of fishing. But Aaron, of course, a multi-winner there at that event. And give us the update, Bill. I filled in everybody a little bit, but you're doing a great fundraising thing. We've got it coming up, I think, in just a couple weeks here, right? Is it this Friday coming?
It's actually next Saturday, the 18th,
Saturday. Yeah.
December 18th.
Yep.
It's at Lake Casitas, which is in kind of Ventura County area. It was one of two lakes that Carol and Aaron started their whole career at. Either it was Casitas or Castaic back in the day, or Piru up there. That's where he and his mom and his family found the love of bass fishing. So, I just like everybody else, I happened to be in Cabo running a big tuna tournament at the time when Aaron actually passed. And he and I met at the 2010 U.S. Open. I had obviously known who he was. It was an honor to meet him then, but I think we had 112 boats at the U.S. Open that year. There was a lull back in that 2008 economy stuff that had happened.
Yeah.
And Aaron and I hit it off right off the bat. Like anybody who's ever been around him, whether you're a stranger or somebody that's known him for a while, he makes you feel like you're the only person in the world at the moment that he's talking to.
Wow.
Yeah.
And true. He made you feel connected to whatever that moment was. And he leaned over to me. I think Clifford Perch won it that year, who's the only other guy that's won it 3 times. besides Mike Folkstad, who is retired. But he leaned over and he said, "Hey, Bill, we need to get this tournament to 200 boats. And I'm here to help you. And anything I can do to help you, you just call me anytime." And from that day forward, we would just connect. And you know, Mike and John Murray and Velvic and Skeet, he was the type of person that would just randomly call you.
Yeah.
And just, you'd be like, "Oh, hey, Aaron, what's going on? I just called to say, love you, bro.
Yeah.
Want to see how you are."
Yeah.
You know, and the weirdest thing was, you know, as men, we're machismo guys, you know, and saying I love you to another guy is not something that we really knew a lot in our age group.
Yeah.
And he was the first person that, you know, looked me in the face and told me, "Hey, I love you, man." And I was like, at first caught off, but he told me, he goes, "Don't ever be afraid to tell somebody you love them, no matter who they are."
Yeah.
And from that day forward, I've always told people that I connect with the same thing, and they give you that deer in the headlight look, but it's okay. It's okay to do that. And it was his special thing. So anyways, I, like everybody else, when we found out, it was very, very disheartening, obviously, but it was nice to know that he was no longer in pain and that he was in a different place and that he was a godly person. So I asked Carol when she reached out to me, I said, "So where is it? What time? When can I be there?"
Yeah.
And she and Leslie had talked, and they didn't want to, or were afraid to do something because they didn't know if it was something that would be able to be contained or if it was something that would just overflow with all the support, which obviously with somebody like Aaron and the type of person he was, garnishes that type. And so it was obviously something that they were worried about. And I immediately, I said, "Look, this is what I do. I put on events.
Yeah.
Let me do it for you because it's deserving of him for at least the West Coast people who didn't get an opportunity maybe to see him in Alabama in the last month or 2 months of his life.
Yeah.
To have a time to tell story, like Maddie says, you
Yeah.
know, to get together, embrace each other and have an opportunity to just remember what was so special about him and what he meant to the fishing industry, to all of us. And so I came up with the idea of starting the Hog Snatcher benefit, which is hashtag Hog Snatcher benefit. We've been posting everything we can about it. It's a day at Lake Casitas, December 18th from noon to 6 o'clock. Anybody and everybody is welcome to come. There is no charge to come in. There's free parking, but we're gonna have live music from 2 to 5 o'clock from a great upstarting band, a girl band named Samantha Carey that I found through a connection of mine. And so we've got banners made. We teamed up with Bassmaster and Sego Sato and a few other people that could give us as much images and video that we could compile. And another volunteer, a young kid named Skeeter Johnson, reached out to me, and he put together an hour-long photo video remembrance of Aaron, all the music. And when I watched the edit part, it was overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and to know that all of us together as a community, this isn't a Juan Bass thing. This isn't a organizational thing. This is something for somebody that meant so much to so many people to have the moment, and for his kids to have an hour-long piece that capsulizes his life it tore me up.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
I'm sure. I'm sure. This is an amazing thing. The first question I have, and I know I'm not monitoring the IM, and Dave is here, but I know
Cheers, guys.
this question's coming through. Cheers. We got a lot of people watching and listening right now that they're watching and listening to this right now, and they're saying, "I didn't know Aaron, but I loved Aaron. He inspired me. I want to help. If there's people watching right now and they want to get involved in this, they live in the Midwest, they live in the East Coast, they live in Canada. Can people get involved in this, Billy?
Yes. Part of that hashtag Hog Snatcher Benefit is on Facebook. There's a group page that's titled the same thing. There's also an event page that's titled the same way. Join the group page. There is so many things happening, which, originally it was just a gathering to get people together and get the community together. And now the sponsors have donated items, rods, reels, lure packs, you name it, so that we can offer people that are willing to and don't have to donate to the GoFundMe page that we created, which is also the Hog Snatcher Benefit for Aaron Martin's on GoFundMe, which you can find on the Facebook group page or the event page, or we're actually having a website come out real soon called, which is hogsnatcherbenefit.com, which will house a lot of the information, the stories, the videos, the things that have kind of happened through this whole, it's like the mud sticking to the tires and it's rolling. Things are just, and you guys, I mean, Mike, you sent in a signed autographed jersey. Rick Klund did. Kevin Linehan from Mercury got involved. He's a good buddy of mine, and Todd Woods. They've got over 150 of you guys sending in signed jersey, which we're going to set aside and create a website so that people can auction on those. It's the largest jersey drive ever put together.
Wow.
Literally for one person. So all the money that's going to be generated for that, and that's going to go on for months. We're going to have this website put up where people can auction or bid on these jerseys that will directly benefit Leslie and the kids. So that's the most important thing to me. Is it's great that so many people are doing things for Aaron and in Aaron's name, but if it's not directly affecting Leslie and the kids,
right,
make sure it is, somehow make sure it is.
Yeah.
So the GoFundMe's created so far over somewhere almost close to $15,000. My original goal is 20, but we've had people donate already about $15,000 in donations for the expenses of the event itself, for the stage, the lighting, all the things that we have to do to make this thing come together. All these jerseys that are being given, we've got guys that are often guide services for, the money that's raised will go directly to Leslie and the kids. So, check out the group page on Facebook. It's Hog Snatcher Benefit at a group page. You can also go to the event page itself to find out information. Soon the website will be developed. And if you're able to come out December 18th to the show, there's a lot of people flying in. I know Byron is. I know Kent Brown's coming down. Chris and Traits Aldana talked about coming out. We'll also have live Facebook broadcasts for moments there from maybe the band or some of the speakers that we have. And of all those photos and all that stuff that we created, I think it's 5 20-foot long banners that are collages of basically his whole life, so that people can spend a moment and look at them. Another one's a big whiteboard where everybody can leave a message and a note for Leslie to take home with them. So
wow,
it's amazing. The outpouring and the outreach is crazy. And the more that you guys, like you, share this information, the more people reach it, because Aaron touched so many people.
Yeah, it's true. It sounds like an awesome event. And it's interesting when someone passes like that, there's a period of like sadness and mourning, and it kills you. But then as time goes on, it turns into a celebration of his life, and a celebration of who Aaron was. And that's what this sounds like. It's going to be an awesome event. We would have loved to be there. We can't be there. We're going to be there in spirit. But here's the great thing. Aaron's going to be there with you guys hanging out. It. He's going to be chilling with you guys. You know that, right?
Right. Well, that was one of the things that got this whole thing started is Aaron, I believe he came to me afterwards and one of the posts, if you go on my own personal Facebook page, was I think Aaron was speaking to me last night, and my duty is to put this on for him and his family and to help support his wife and his kids in this situation, because I'm a father of 2 kids. I've got a 14 and a 15-year-old son and daughter. I mean, to have them be left without me right now is devastating. And all these different things. I haven't cried this much in a long time in the last few weeks, and it's the kindness and the donations. And I had somebody call me up. They're like, "Hey, Bill, what do you need some help with?" And I'm like, "Well, God, the expenses for this thing are just getting crazy." And he goes, "Can I give you $5,000?" And I was like, "Shut up." And he's like, No. Do you need more? And I'm like, I just started crying. I'm like, "I love you. Thank you." And whatever we can do together. I mean, the U.S. Open was something very, very special to Aaron. And like you mentioned, Rick Clunn put it, I think, the best that I've ever heard so far is, you guys do a lot of different things out there in the East, and Bassmaster and MLF and all that stuff. But to call yourself a true champion, the U.S. Open's got to be one of those titles that you own.
I'd agree. Yeah.
And it's unique. It's so different. It's like fishing on the moon.
Yeah.
It's the best way I can explain
It's
it.
exactly
That's
like
a good analogy.
I've never heard that before.
That's a good analogy. It really is.
That's what I felt like when we were out there with the Bassmasters tournament. I'm driving through the desert looking at cactus.
Oh yeah.
And donkeys. Like
jackass everywhere.
Desert donkey. Like these things. They're so big. They're so big, and there's no food. I'm
You
like,
saw
how do
a
they get
mirage
so
of a
big?
Burger King.
But Pete saw a mirage. It was just a double Whopper or a cheeseburger. Trying to get to it. He couldn't quite get to it. He's
Is
just
that an old
reaching.
country buffet?
Just reaching for it.
That's
Next
not
year's
what
the
I
40th
saw.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Next year's the 40th anniversary of the U.S. Open, so we're looking to go big, and hopefully we can get a little more water in the lake. But either way, we're going to make it happen. You were there this year. We had to modify how we typically do our tournaments, and it actually ran better than anybody thought it would.
It ran great.
And everybody wants me to do it that way from now on.
It ran great. It was awesome.
I appreciate that.
Billy, I've got to corner you on this real quick because we talked about it at the beginning of the show.
Yes.
You can say whatever you want or don't say whatever you want. But we brought up in the very beginning of the show the Johnny Morris's event that just happened a few weeks ago, and very cool in some respects and not so cool in others. But we were talking about the name. Like, I mean, like, my feeling is like, really? Like, you could found any other name out there. You want to chime in on this?
I've been pretty quiet about it myself the whole time because I've done many things before I accidentally became a tournament director one day. And in life you run into situations in business where my analogy is, are you going to fight Budweiser if you're a small microbrewery?
Yeah.
They can, the point is my initial thoughts, and anybody that knows me, I'll just say it the way it is because I don't like to have any regrets in life. And if I'm true to myself and true to the situation, then I don't have to defend myself. But my initial thought was he needs to fire his creative director because that was not a very, it wasn't a reach. And, the U.S. Open of bass or of U.S. Open of fishing is so ambiguous as far as trademarks are concerned.
Yeah.
It's not unique enough, and it's not something they tried to get it. We tried to get it, but it couldn't be awarded the way it was, although we've used it for over 39 years.
39 years, Johnny.
Well, I heard that was the second choice. The first pitch was they were going to call it the Ultimate Fishing Championship, UFC.
Right.
And then they said, "No, that's already taken. Let's take the
US Open.
Actually, before that, they were going to call it the
UFC probably had more than us to defend themselves.
right. But before that one, they were going to call it the Bassmaster Trail. But that one got shot down.
It's all good because to me, no matter I've been doing this will be my 12th year now, and no matter if it was English Choice Tournament Organization or if it was FLW. Because they're a competitor for the most part of my open events, but we now all work real nicely together. It's no matter what happens in the industry, it's the anglers who will make the difference, because the anglers will always know or see through the facade.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. People can do what they want, but the U.S. Open is the U.S. Open. It always will be the U.S. Open. And I've joked a couple times and called it the real U.S. Open, but it's water under the bridge. I mean, all that matters is
Keep talking
it
shit
has
on
the
'em.
tradition it has, and people know the difference.
Yeah. That's a good answer.
It got you great publicity, though, because all of us are talking about it.
Well, it did in some respects, and it didn't in others, because they had one of their qualifying events for the U.S. Open on Mead, and that's the one where they did a shotgun start. People were banging into each other, and they sunk 8 boats. So in that respect, it's bad publicity, but...
we're joking about it now, but if I won that money, I'd be calling Johnny Marr's dad.
Oh, I would call him dad, too.
What do you need? Want me to go kick Iaconelli's ass, sir?
Dad! Dad!
I also know, obviously, like we had to cancel one of the days this year. I mean, they landed on a week, and I even called a couple contacts I had warning them because the week before that forecast didn't look good. And whoever was on site and had to make the call was in a tough position, much tougher position than I think I would be in because of the expenses that was put out for the event itself.
Yeah.
And the trucks and the things and the people that they brought out, because it's not a small show.
Yeah.
They wanted to make it a big deal, and that it affects a lot of things. And I've had to call 2 days in my 12 years at the U.S. Open based on weather, and lives are more important than trophies.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm sure the problem that I saw with that was you're dealing with amateurs versus guys that at least 90% of them have a lot of experience under their belt. Our open tournaments are an open style, and open means anybody can do it. If you've got a boat and you can pay the entry, you're a pro, and that's some of the good things about our events, is that it opens the door to anybody that wants to fish, but it's also very dangerous at times when you get conditions like you can at Lake Mead or places like that, when you don't know the capabilities of some of these people and what they knowledge they may have or not have on big water or dangerous areas like that.
Yeah.
And Mead can be an instant monster in no minutes at all.
It can. I was surprised how big it got.
Ferocious out there.
Ferocious. The way the wind comes through the
Piping
canyons.
right through there.
And, it was incredible.
It's a nasty body of water.
It
as
is.
nasty as I've been on, really. 30
and
years.
sloppy, not timed, like very.
But it's so gorgeous at the same time.
Oh yeah,
awe-inspiring.
Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful place. Billy, let's say it one more time. We've got probably a couple new people chiming in and listening that weren't here on the early part of the broadcast. Great event for Aaron coming up this Saturday down in Southern California. If people can go, how can they do it? And if people can't go, how can they help with this?
So it's December 18th, which is next Saturday, Lake Casitas, which is in Ventura area off the 101. It's real easy to get to, whether you're coming from Northern California or Southern California, but the event is from 12 to 6 o'clock, and that's the physical event itself for people to come and attend and see everybody and bid on certain items that we have available there on site, get involved in the opportunities to win stuff, because in California, you can't say raffles, can't run raffles in California. So there are opportunities to win sponsor items that have been gifted. But if you can't make it and you can't come physically there to donate, because we'll have the ability to donate to the GoFundMe right there if that's what you want to do, or if you want to just auction in on some items that are happening at the show, you can do that. But if you're not able to come like yourselves, there's the GoFundMe page, which is the Hog Snatcher benefit for Aaron Martins on the GoFundMe. You can find it on our Facebook group page that we created, which is the Hog Snatcher benefit group page. There's a Hog Snatcher benefit event page. The hashtag Hog Snatcher benefit will lead you to everything that we've been doing. There's a jersey drive with over 150, I think it's almost 180 pros that have confirmed that they're sending in their jerseys.
Wow.
Which will be auctioned off. There's Byron was telling us today that he's moving and he's selling all his old tackle and giving all the proceeds to Leslie and the kids. There's so many people that are offering guide trips. One of the guys offered, Max Hernandez out of Arizona. He's one of the pros that fishes my circuit. He does carpets and padding. So he said, hey, Bill, I'd like to do something. Can I offer up a carpet and padding service? They just have to come to Arizona with their boat and I'll take care of it. And I said, sure, anything helps. Well, it's already up to almost $2,000 that he's going to then give to Leslie and the kids to do that service.
Yeah.
And there's guides that are offering up things that you can literally go to this group page, find the guide. Byron's offering a guide. John Pearl, which is a Clear Lake big bait phenom, is offering them. There's so many people offering guide trips that if you bid on them and that bid's accepted before 4 o'clock on December 18th, that money is all going to go to Leslie. And, you know,
Wow.
the looks of it, it could eclipse something like $50,000 generated this one weekend.
That would be
And that's
awesome.
without anybody getting more involved in the GoFundMe now. So
Yeah.
between now and next Saturday, and the GoFundMe actually, because Bassmasters and us are working together, they're going to promote it up till March 11th. So the GoFundMe page is going to stay open until March 11th until it has to be withdrawn into Leslie's account before it disappears. So we're all teaming up to promote it from here on out. And we're actually going to do a Memorial Hog Snatcher benefit at Lake Castaic in September, I think, this year, a team tournament where all the proceeds are going to go to the Martins family. So this is something that is probably going to just continue for years to go in some manner, shape, or form.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. From so many aspects, that's awesome. And for the memory of Aaron, for helping Leslie and the kids, just amazing that you and a lot of people, right? Because there's a lot of other people doing cool stuff. But it does, Pete, it does make you think that how Aaron touched so many people, all the support, it's deserving, right? It's all coming back full circle, man.
Yeah,
it's great to see it.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, I was fortunate to know him a little bit. And,
I want you to take your mic out of your pocket.
Yeah, his mic's in his pocket. Take it out of the pocket.
I loved him, and Leslie was wonderful, and they always treated me wonderfully just from day one, and I'll never forget it. You said it so well. Aaron had the ability to make you feel like you were the only one there, make you feel special, and he definitely did. He did that to me, and so many others. And I'm one that has donated a guide trip, a Bass University package, where we're going to give away a annual subscription to Bass U, a clothing pack, and a guide trip with me. We're going to raffle that off as part of this program.
Heck yeah.
And that's awesome.
And I just want to do more, and I will. I will keep doing more. He's just a powerful guy. And you know what? We feel blessed. I feel blessed because Aaron gave knowledge to Bass University. He gave a couple really, really powerful seminars that were, in Aaron Martin style. And we were able to. We were able.
Only the way Aaron can do it. That's for sure.
Yes, and they were A-Mart style.
Handing him the mic at the U.S. Open after he'd win a U.S. Open. and wondering
and
where the
chasing
speech
him
was
around.
gonna go.
Where is he going to
Yeah.
go?
Oh, it's
He'd
great.
be talking about something, and then his daughter would move, and he'd be gone for like a millisecond
Yeah.
and come back, and it'd be a totally different subject. But it was just Aaron, and
great.
seeing him at the U.S. Opens, and I think the U.S. Open, although he didn't really, because he can't really relax at events like that, but it was something that when he came there, he took a methodical time, and he'd be up on the top story of the parking structure working on his stuff until 1 o'clock in the morning with his headlamp on. And I'd walk out there going, dude, what are you doing? And we'd have some of the best talks and, just connections. And I'd watch him tie line. And we had a couple guys show up one night and just hang out, tell story. It's like Maddie said, my mom's from the Big Island of Hawaii, so I'm Papa Haole myself. So listening to Maddie and listening to him talk pidgin it hits home because I'm part Hawaiian myself. But it's Ohana. Aaron was part of the family, and the way he'd reach out at just random moments. One of the things I posted on my Facebook page was our communication. I recorded our text messages up until the end, and just so other people could see that it's okay to be open with your friends and to be vulnerable with people and to be real with people. And he was real in every aspect, and his mom, his family, Leslie. I mean, to be with somebody that's going through that and to support him to the end, to allow him to be fishing to the last moment.
Yeah.
Until he was in hospice. It must have been very hard for her to do that, but it must have been very easy at the same time for her to do it.
Yeah.
So,
but
well, I appreciate you guys having me come on and allowing me to do what we can to help Leslie and the kids and to have people hear about it. And Becky, thank you for working with me and to allow Mike to come to the U.S. Open and allow me into your living room there.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it. The pleasure's ours. Thank you for allowing us to help you. It's amazing to talk about this. And here's what I want to say one last time before we let you go. I will see you next October at the real U.S.
The
Open.
real U.S. Open.
I will see you there at the real U.S. Open. So,
all right, man. Love you, bro.
Billy, love you too. You take it easy. Have a good night.
You too. Take care, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Billy
Thank
Egan,
you.
everybody.
I
Man.
wonder where he was. He looked like he was on the bridge of the Starship Enterprise.
I don't know. I like it. I saw neon in the back. He was either drinking daiquiris or shooting lasers. I don't know.
Like SpaceX.
I liked it.
Elon Musk.
I liked it a lot. It was pretty awesome. That is cool. It's amazing that he's doing that, though, because, here's the thing. He should do it, and Aaron was a great person. But it always worries me in the professional fishing industry, right? Like, these dudes don't have, you know what I mean? And I don't know Aaron's situation, right? But, this isn't a normal profession.
Yeah, there's no
So
401k.
There's no 401k.
Insurance.
There's
None of that stuff.
no set insurance programs. There's, the company's not initiating savings or helping you. It's like you're on your own.
You're
with this
your
shit.
own business.
You're
man.
your own business. You're on your own. They don't. The organizations don't give a shit. They're like, So that always worries me. Whether
and think about most sponsor contracts have somewhere in there that if you're unable to tournament fish anymore or whatever your contract is, the contract ends.
Yeah, they do. They do, and I hate that, and I get it, and I don't get it. And I'm sure sponsors. It's a case-by-case basis.
Oh, I'm not saying that's what Aaron sponsors are, but that's just a very standard language thing in a contract.
It is standard. Yeah, it is standard. So this is going to help. I hope stuff continues to go throughout the year, and for sure it's going to go to Leslie and the kids, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So
Billy's awesome.
He's awesome. He's a good dude, man. We got to get him out here one day. He's a West Coast guy, though. He probably won't come to the East Coast. He doesn't want to hear "go shoot" all that stuff.
He doesn't want to fish all day for a 12-inch bass.
Right. Yeah. Well, the one caught at Audrey today was a 4-pounder, though. Did you see that?
Nah, who caught it?
Wow.
Don't know. I can't remember.
One
Snagged in the
4-pounder.
back.
One.
Yeah.
One.
One
thought.
4-pounder.
There's always a but. We were always qualifying it.
Yeah.
I can't stand that. Oh, yeah, but. No, we caught one fish.
But Audrey used to have giant smallmouths in it. But the bucket fisherman took them out. But
Lake X got stocked with smallmouth for no reason.
yeah, Lake X got Lake X might have got a couple big ones today. Who knows? There's no telling.
You better knock that shit off. I'm going to lead the way. He lives over here, guys.
Put your energy to where it needs to be. Chris Smith, the New Jersey
I'm
Department
working
of
on
Fishing
that. I'm working on that.
Spe-
Nobody else is doing shit,
Yeah,
but I'll work on it.
Speaking of controversy, why don't I bring this up here real quick? Dave, did you realize that I went to fish Alloway last week?
Oh, boy.
And hooked up my bass boat, drove over there to Alloway to find a locked gate with a little sign. I'm going to make a post at some point eventually because I want to stir this pot, saying, because of the things that happened in this summer, we were forced to ordinance to shut this gate. And I'm thinking,
Come on,
you
man.
fucks.
This is a terrible idea.
It's a good idea.
No,
because
talk about it right now.
You think?
Oh.
Let me just say
It's
one
not good
last
for
thing.
my mindset, but go ahead.
Let me say one last thing, and we'll go on to something more positive.
Yes, please.
I think that's wrong.
It's
From
wrong.
what I understand, the state worked a deal out with the township to fix that dam with the understanding that they would allow public
Taxpayer
access.
money.
Taxpayer money.
So you have to allow access.
So you have to allow access.
And
to,
the
so
dirtbags found a way to shut the gate
they
again.
found a way to shut the
scumbags.
gate. They found a way to shut the gate, which is wrong. So I'll post later on my own site about that and let guys.
Maybe you should talk
guys
to that
tussle.
lake association and find out what they did. You can lock this thing down a little bit.
Well, I know.
That's the same shit.
Well, it is a little bit the same shit here, but
I know that.
here's
I'm
the
saying
difference.
that, dude.
Here's the difference. When we had all that water about 10 years ago, we had that heavy. Remember all the dams busted here in South Jersey.
Yep.
This association had the wherewithal to create an association and have money to repair the dam on our own merit.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't leverage taxpayer dollar to fix this dam. When the Alloway Dam went, them dumbasses didn't have.
They had their
funding.
pockets inside out looking for money.
Yeah.
They did the pocket slap, like,
Yeah. Right.
All right,
yeah,
so
Chode, I got no money.
I want to
Forgot
move
what
on.
Go, dude.
Thank you,
because
thank you.
Go,
Pony up,
Chode.
man.
this is gonna
Fancy
go down.
We don't get paid till Friday.
All right. Fancy on day you.
So I think I'm allowed to say this, and if I can't, I guess I'll get slapped on the wrist by Miss Carol on Monday. But
However,
the scholarship dinner is coming back.
Oh, nice.
We are coming back to the Centerton Country Club, the Grove at Centerton.
Grove.
Sorry, that's the proper name. It is the last Friday in January. I'm blanking on the exact number date, but it's that week right before the Super Bowl. It's that Friday evening. We are going to have so many baskets. It's going to be a ton of fun.
Oh, good.
But we have added
what?
to the fun this year.
Oh, my God.
And we finally got approval
dunk tank.
from the state, the county, the Pope. I don't know. You had to get so many permissions
Maddie's
from this.
bringing his barbershop quartet.
That would be cool.
Yes.
That would be cool.
And they're going to play music next to our gaming tables.
Oh.
So we are going to have like craps and roulette and all that fun stuff. So we're going to have
You got
some
gambling?
gaming tables.
Gaming.
Oh, gaming.
Terminology has to
Oh,
be
you
correct.
can't say gambling?
We will be using gaming tables.
Gambling. Can't say gambling.
Playing on some gaming tables. So that is super exciting
That is
for
exciting.
the foundation.
Yeah, that's
We're
awesome.
excited. The scholarship question is out. So if you know any graduating high school seniors that are heading off to college, they have given back to their community through the
Yeah.
outdoors in some way, shape, or form, tell them to fill out the application. They could be a recipient of the Ike Foundation Scholarship.
Very cool.
We also, I think the Pro-Am, if it isn't announced, is about to be announced, the date. We already have a bunch of kids events. We're working with a food bank in Delaware, a couple other folks, so we'll be announcing that we're going to have some events for kids. And we're also coming out with our own youth tournament trail.
Long overdue.
2022.
Long overdue.
Wow.
Finally hitting in 2022.
Yes.
What's that about?
So I can't say too much because we're still waiting on permitting, and most of these places won't give permit. They've tentatively said yes, that this should work, but they won't give permits till January 1st, so I can't really say. But we want to make sure that kids have the opportunity to tournament fish that wouldn't have the opportunity. So it's going to be small boat tournament events. We've also got a ton of volunteers that have already offered to volunteer their boat, so they would be a boater. A lot of these kids in our area don't have the parent or the relative or whoever who has the boat, so they want to fish tournaments, kind of in our region, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, but they don't have the means. So we they get excluded, from this opportunity.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure out a way to do that. So if you want to volunteer during our events.
It's very cool.
I'm in.
The thing that hit me when they started this process a year ago, and this is why I love it, is when you look at other sports for kids in this call it the tri-state area, right? Mm-hmm. You got wrestling. You guys your sons are both involved in wrestling, or you have soccer, or you have music. You have all these camps and tournaments and easy access for these kids to get involved in that sport. In fishing, it's very limited. It's at the state level. The reality isn't here in New Jersey. They're all in North Jersey, right? They're all up there instead of spread out.
And they're all big boat tournaments now, so you have to have a big motor.
Right. They're all, right. So they switched it to all big boats, where this one's going to be big or little. You're going to have access to both.
Well, it'll be trolling motor
Trolling
only.
motor only lake.
Any
So
size boat.
I like it. Anything that opens up to get more kids to be able to tournament fish, I like it.
I liked when the Federation had a requirement that you had to have a youth club as part of your club. That was a requirement.
Yeah.
And it's missing now.
Right.
There's nowhere for these kids to go.
Yeah, that went away.
I think it's really cool that you're having this tournament. I'm visualizing like volunteers are going to be coming with boats. People can sign up no matter what. And get into a boat and go out and fish and compete. That's exciting.
It's pretty awesome.
We're also putting together a program, so if there's kids that want to compete but don't even have the equipment, we're going to have so many slots available for those kids as well, so we can get them equipped so they can get out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let me change topics real quick. Dave, this came up in my news feed real quick. I want to throw this at you.
We don't do politics.
Okay. Trump clouds Pence's efforts to lay groundwork for 2024 presidential bid. All right. Just want to throw that out there real quick.
And then we're dropping the mic. Okay, let's move on.
Look at Dave's face.
I mean, it's all fake news. And I'm going to tell you why. If Trump decides to run, it doesn't matter what Republican says they want to run. Trump's got the nomination.
Right.
So what's the white noise in the article that they're trying to get out? Because the headline itself isn't the story.
They're just trying to cause disturbance.
No, but there's something inside, and if you read it, I would be able to show you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
After we're done here,
I've learned how to dissect the drive-bys attempt.
The drive-by
media. Rush Limbaugh called them that. The drive-by media. Because they find a topic, they drive by, they light it up, get everyone stirred, and they drive on to the next topic to get everyone stirred up.
It's like that there's a shortage of cream cheese and toilet paper and DEF fluid.
Did you know that, Bri?
Wait, what?
Cream cheese.
DEF fluid.
Yeah.
DEF fluid is an engine exhaust.
If you have a diesel,
you have a diesel,
have to add DEF fluid to it.
DEF fluid.
Yeah.
There's a shortage of that?
Shortage of DEF fluid and cream cheese.
But I think the people who are starting these shortages are the companies selling the product, because then it's
Supply and demand.
it's a mad rush.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how wealthy we would be if we would have listened to that guest on one of the original Ike Lives and all
About
bought
Bitcoin?
into crypto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Mike Richardson.
I don't want to talk about that shit.
Mike Richardson.
Oh
I
my
was
gosh.
following that forever. And
Genius.
That would
I
have
know
been
someone
amazing.
who bought some and made so much money
Yeah.
off it.
Cash cow. Big cash cow.
Fake money.
Fake money.
It really is.
Yeah, but
dude.
fake
You
money can
did
make you
nothing.
money.
You did nothing to earn it. It's the fucking stock market. It's bullshit.
It is.
Go earn your freaking money. It's fucking gambling. God, I can't stand it. It's trash.
Yeah.
Earn an honest living.
Yeah.
Earn your money.
Or
All right, what do we have
Brian-
left to do on this Christmas extravaganza?
Brian failed to buy Bitcoin.
Yeah. Well, here's what we're going to do.
I bought houses to put children in so they could go learn.
We got to do MTV.
What did you
we
do
got
with
to
your
take a quick
Bitcoin? You
break.
didn't do a damn thing.
And then we hit a quarantine. And
Still
how
doing good.
How do you want to operate this? You want to do a?
We're gonna do a commercial.
All right, let's do a commercial. Listen, when we come back, this last segment's going to be short, but when we come back, we have an MTV unboxing and Stormtrooper.
Oh,
making
we'll
a
have
guest
another
appearance.
break
And
before
there
that,
might
though.
be some more stuff.
Okay, hang in there with us. When we come back, more Ike Live.
Johnny Morse?
4.5-inch drop shot worm. Bama bug. Finesse jig, PB&J. Give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. Now, I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, go to mysterytacklebox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it lunchtime already? Nature's candy.
Look at this stuff. That's one of the keys, this scent right here, right? It's not liquid. It's almost like a paste. And when you put that on that hard bait, this is on a Rapala X-Wrap, it just sort of coats it. And I love it because it stays on there. You know, I've used scents in the past where you put that scent on, 2 or 3 casts later, it's gone. You don't have it on there. This lasts 20, 30, 40 casts. Dude, the thing I love about this stuff, watch, I want you to watch this as Brian puts this on. Look at the material, right? You've got, we're using shad today, so it's got natural bits of shad in there. It's got enzymes, aminos.
It's that sticky icky.
It's that sticky.
You know, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Dude, no jig, nothing. Just Liquid Mayhem on a bare hook. Liquid Mayhem.
The bottle of Liquid Mayhem.
You know?
You take pride in your boat, so it deserves the best protection possible. Our durable woven fabric prevents ripping and provides UV protection, and our tape seams provide protection against the elements. The heavy-duty shock cord hem and strap and buckle system provide a tight and secure fit. Our top-of-the-line boat covers come with a ventilation system to keep your boat free from mold buildup. Empire Covers, protecting what you love.
This is your tackle. Not that kind of tackle. You use it to catch this, or this, or this. You also use this and that and these. This is your environment. So is this. You love it, live for it, but it will turn this into that. This is the Flambeau Z-Rust Max Tough Tainer series. These are fully infused with exclusive Z-Rust VCI anti-corrosion technology. This is a U.S. naval battleship. The same Z-Rust technology used here has been used on those to protect advanced weapon systems from corrosion in conditions like these. For the fish, it's invisible, odorless, tasteless. And for you, it's FDA-safe anti-rust protection for a minimum of 5 years. This is the next level of tackle management. Not that kind of management. This is the Flambeau legacy of tackle systems. What's your tackle worth?
It's more than who you are. It's who you're with. And it's more than what you do. It's where you do it. Tin Cup Mountain Whiskey.
And now it's time for a very special word of Christmas from the Stormtrooper.
2021. This Ike growing the sport, they too many anglers on the water, son. On the bank of the lake, to the right of me, is hate, cloaked in his best SPF. So then I cast to the left and snag discarded saltwater Tess. Thanks, Ike. Or mucho gracias, as says the Mexican. Instead of foisting free rides to the kids, gives them books to boost their lexicon. Teach a man to fish, and he will stand in the way of my off day. But feeds the fatty away from the lake, and I will catch 6 keepers. No mistake. With Biden bucks on the street, there isn't a kayak or canoe on the Craigslist. That's beat. Dudes, I once floated past as they stood on the bank or wade. Now, petrol by me in the new kayaks that my tax dollars paid. Oh no! Then Ike has announcements to be made. The next one, I will rack one in the chamber and point it at my fade. Back to the bass. No surprise. Once free MLF, now costs 65. All hail the queen. The queen has spoken. All about the fabric cloth the Chinese Vigas have woven. Gucci on her feet, Gucci on her back. Green worms held against their veil, tortured for their silk. 4,000 cries from them, 4,000 times of them. Toddler fox hair and unicorn manes, worn once on the top hat, never seen again. Pete Glusek, the second chair. Gray hair, silver beard. With aids to here. Toxic masculinity, you say. I say too. Pointing at the camera. Bitches to grow bass you. Shut up and fetch my supper. I had a long day's work. But you were fishing on the water. Bam! Uppercut. Riz Tor. Riz no more. Work boots still in the box. Work gloves still at the store. Jake. Yes, Jake. No steak. No snake. No State Farm. BTC, pushing the buttons, 1, 2, 3. 10 years later, still doesn't know what the fourth one does. Wire kicked loose. Show now delayed. Quick, call Jeffries so the show can be played. The universe is upside down. Ain't right. The X-20 boat still floats. Customers' jobs done. On time. BTC home hours before closing time. At the bar, no getting in the car with glazed eye. Uber on speed dial, to my surprise.
Glazed eye.
Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas and Feliz Navidad.
Wow. Stormtrooper, everyone. Wow. Stormtrooper. Wow.
There's a lot there. I have to go back and try to digest it.
Oh, my God.
Well, if you've ever watched spoken word, it makes as much
Oh, my
sense as
God.
that
Oh, that was incredible.
Every spoken word line got me, but the Riz on tour, no more. Oh, Stormtrooper. It was glad to have. I was glad to see him back.
I know.
Pete.
Yeah, he delivered impeccably.
Just for a little spoken word.
Have you ever watched? Have you ever tried to get through 10 seconds of spoken word?
I went to like a place when I was in my 20s.
So you know.
Yeah, where like it was an open mic night, spoken word. You could just get up and do it. And the first couple, I was kind of like, huh, okay. But after like multiple people get up and it's like that, you're like, I can't drink enough.
This
is not my thing.
It's insane.
More
People
10 cup,
pouring out
please.
their incoherent soul. Like it's so insufferable.
And I was a Stormtrooper like the pages kept getting held up in front of your face.
So I found these glasses in the parking lot of our swim club. They're like 2 They're girls, and I'm looking at them fogged up through a cage. All right, like,
it's hard to decipher.
Not exactly the best.
Wow.
Wow. I'm literally going to play that back over and over.
I
and
know.
Over. I cannot wait to play that back.
Drawer.
I may even make that my ringtone. Like my entire ringtone is going to be that spoken.
I know
word.
he's going to be mad, Riz.
Oh, that was so
Riz
good.
tour, Riz no more.
Riz tour, Riz no more, man.
Work boots still in the box. Work gloves still at the store. I don't know why. I'm sorry, Riz. I am sorry, man.
Riz,
we love you.
He can take it.
We
He
might
can take
actually
it.
have
Riz
to
is a
like
killer.
post so people
Yeah.
can digest.
Yeah.
Because some people were like, I don't understand what he's saying. Like we could all understand you, but I don't know if everyone caught all of it.
I want you guys to dissect it for me. I got like 10% of it. I want to know. I'm going to dive in. We're going to have these controversy, theory.
Nah, it was all clean.
You got to play it slow, and then you got to play it in reverse. Play it backwards.
I wonder if I didn't.
Like
I wonder
it's
if
an
I
old
didn't have
Black
the mic.
Sabbath album.
I wonder if I didn't have the mic close to my face.
Nah, dude, it was good.
Okay.
It's
It
good.
was
We're
so
just
good.
it's the accent stick, bro.
I've been listening to a lot of Black Sabbath lately.
Have you?
Yeah.
What the? Going back?
Yeah.
You're opening
I've been
portals.
going back.
You shouldn't be.
I've been working. I've been working out to it. They have a Disney movie out. The woman from
Black Sabbath has a Disney movie out.
No doubt.
Perversion. Absolute perversion.
Yeah, the
Wow.
100 Dalmatians movie. What's
Cruella?
Yes, Cruella has Black Sabbath on the soundtrack. The Wizard. We should roll
really?
out to the Wizard.
That's not an accident. That's by design.
Yeah. Oh no, it's
Paying
it's
homage
perfect.
to their masters.
Well,
It's perfect.
Our Estella was Cruella for Christmas because we saw the movie.
For Halloween.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, for Halloween. Which might be for Christmas as well. Sorry. But anyways, in the movie, Cruella's birth name is Estella.
Yeah.
And so when we saw that,
funny.
we're like, well, there's your
It's
Halloween
super funny.
costume.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's the best soundtrack. It's like it's all 60s and 70s rock, and it's really good soundtrack. But I couldn't believe they have Black Sabbath. So I've been listening to Ozzy and Black Sabbath for since I watched the movie.
Keep
for
your
a month.
kids further away from Disney than you do the boys' camp counselor. I'm telling you right now. All right?
Oh my God.
It was just a good movie, man.
No,
So
I get it. I understand.
It's funny. So
I'll show you some stuff.
you talked about listening to Black Sabbath, but so I had a rental. So I took a trip I had to go to Spirit Lake for a few days in Iowa to do a little product development for Berkeley.
Mm-hmm.
The easiest way was to fly into Minneapolis, St. Paul, and grab a rental, and then just drive about 3-hour drive. So I'm in the car, and those radio stations are in and out. There wasn't satellite radio, so I ended up, one will go on and then one will die and you'll keep turning. So anyway, I turned it to this other channel, and I'm just country, just farm fields, just nothing, farms and windmills. That's all that's out there, right? And channel went bad, and all of a sudden I turned another one, and it was Chingy. Right here. And that was Pete's favorite song back in the day.
That's good stuff.
Chingy. Yeah.
Chingy and I had a relationship for a while.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was back in little Pete's era,
Well, it's your exposure. I
yeah,
mean,
but
I
that
would-
was
I
great.
would-
But
I
that
was
song,
not a hip hop guy.
Yeah, but
man.
that song specifically takes me back to our travels, and we stopped in Atlanta one time.
Yeah.
and it was the Chingy era. for Pete. Pete's Chingy era.
I was already out.
So you know how a song brings you back to that time?
Holiday Inn. What was
Yeah,
that song?
yeah. All that bringing me back, man.
Motel, hotel, Holiday Inn.
No, later.
That's way
later.
later.
I don't know.
Yeah,
later.
Easy said it.
I mean, come on.
You're right.
All right, got a mystery tackle box here.
I'd like to cheers to something.
Let's toast. Yeah, let's toast. Let's toast to
Pete.
Let's
Nah,
toast to
you're
Pete's,
right.
Pete's porch.
Yeah, I'll take it.
No.
Pete's porch.
Let's do a toast to tonight's show. It is the holiday special, so let's make a toast
here's to
to
us.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, to our
everybody.
fans, everyone watching. Let's do a toast to us. This is how many Christmas episodes, holiday specials have we had? 8?
Yeah, we've been doing this since 2014.
Is that 8? Wow. Click, click.
13.
7.
I think 13.
Hold on. Wait, 14 might have been one of my trivia questions. Damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we still have trivia questions. Damn it.
No, I think our first episode was in 2014.
This is the most ADD toast ever.
This is. Well,
We
cheers.
just-
Cheers, guys.
Let's
Cheers.
shoot these things.
Cheers.
Merry
somebody
Christmas.
somebody
Salute,
look up
guys.
when we started.
Cheers.
You can't.
BTC. Love you, man.
They're not. They're on,
Nah.
they're on the tower.
Are they?
They're on the tower downstairs.
Tin cup.
Oh, my God. That's so good. Shout out to Mark Zona for that little intro.
Yeah, that was great.
See?
Little
Thank you,
Z
Z.
intro right there.
Thank you, Z.
Pete, the holidays are here. In addition to Bash University, which makes a great gift, Mystery Tackle Box does as well. I love these things. I've actually gifted these to
Look at the top of
my
that.
uncle.
Yeah.
I've gifted these to Vegas.
I'm not drinking
So
that.
if you have a fisherman, that you know or
grease.
love, this makes a great holiday gift.
And
you
they
know the
can be
deal.
found now at Dick's Sporting Goods.
They can be found at Dick's.
Amazon.
Amazon. Yep. MysteryTackleBox.com. Go
Yep.
straight there. This is one of my favorite parts of the show, Pete, and we are the only live podcast that does this. We're going to break the seal. Hold on. Listen. Ready? Here it comes. Listen. There it goes. We are unboxing an Elite box tonight. What would you call that color, Pete? Maroon? Beige? What would you call that?
Maroon.
Maroon box, Elite box. And you know the deal, Pete. I'm going to give it to you and pass it back to me. Pick one bait that catches your eye. Oh, no!
Away from the wires.
Wow.
Oh, this just caught my eye. I'm taking it.
We almost went down the electrical hole.
Well, that would have been bad.
I don't know how that happened.
All right, Pete got him something right there. Pretty interesting. What you got there, Pete?
Dave had to get me another beer because the one here looks like somebody took lard or grease and just slathered it on the top.
Oh, yeah.
What's
Nice.
wrong with this one?
I don't know. I had one of them earlier.
Oh,
What you got?
like somebody who just cut bacon.
I know where that's from.
What's it from?
Dude, that's a Founders from when we went to Thousand Islands and the wing sauce got all over the
Oh,
beers.
disgusting.
That somehow made it back up here.
It was still good.
That was that
I'm not
beer.
drinking that. How do you know
wing
that's
sauce.
good?
Wing
I poured it
sauce.
into a glass.
Oh, and it was good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I digress.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, I won't pick that one because I have something negative
So-
to say about that one.
I know we said the name Mark
Amazing bait.
while we're doing this.
Yeah.
Mark.
But I think we all have to also give a shout out to Mark Jeffries, who has announced his stepping down from BTL. He's
Mark!
doing a little retirement while he's at
Yeah.
the top of his game, which is super exciting.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
He's still around to help us behind
Do
the
you think?
scenes.
Do you think, like looking back on it, you know, Mark honestly was at the very beginning,
Very beginning.
of this whole
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
podcast / video podcast,
Yeah, it was.
whatever you want to call it. Do you think, looking back, knowing that all these Nimrods come out of the woodwork right now, and there's 1,000 podcasts and 900 of them are terrible? Do you think he would have not done it? So, like, not paved the road for all
So
these
you're talking
other
about
shitty
going back in
podcasts?
time and killing Hitler, right?
No.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
In
that.
essence.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, do you think he would go back and not?
unplug him from show
Unplug
one and see
himself.
how well the world is because
Yeah.
of it? I don't know. Maybe.
Nah.
Yeah.
I give him credit for vision.
I do too.
Yeah.
He's
I know,
he's
but
always had
Mike's-
vision.
Yeah.
Mike's vision on this little piece here was kind of cool, too.
Yeah. No. Mark's vision was amazing. Like, he actually, some of it never even got fulfilled. Like, I remember some of his first shows where he was traveling with the elite tournaments.
Yeah.
And he would go to a local bar. Like, this is seriously what he was doing.
Yeah.
He would go to a local bar, and he would do these live podcasts from the bar during the event. And he would get, like, the elite guys to come in, or especially, like, after Saturday and Sunday's cut.
Yeah.
He would get guys come in to talk about it.
That's way better than anything we're doing.
Dude, and here's the thing.
And especially everybody else.
Here's the thing. Oh, God, I can't. We got to get we have to get Mark on.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Because
But here's the other thing. Think about it. You just said that he went like remote and did it. This is back before there was all this equipment to make
all
it
the stuff
easy.
that made it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Now
here's
you can do
he
it with your
figured
iPhone.
all that out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's me again turning it negative and making a big thing out of
Shocker.
it. But I vividly remember the reason it didn't keep going and go on is like Bass fought him about it. Like Bass had a serious at the time. That's different owners
Different
now,
owners.
right? So, but at the time, Bass was like hated him for it.
This
Like,
is before Bass had live.
Before Bass
so
had
he
live.
beat them to the game.
Yeah, they hated him for it, and they like did everything they could do to make it not work for him. Like they didn't want him on premise. That's why he started going to the bars. Because originally he wanted to do it on premise.
Yeah.
And most of the places are public anyway, you know, like they're parks and stuff. So it's just funny. He was ahead of his time.
And the community didn't, like the Observer, didn't know how to, like, consume that then.
Right.
They had never seen that before.
Right.
They
It was
didn't know what
early.
to do
It was
with it.
early. Yeah.
But he was coming out with live information from the tournament before the tournament trail knew how to get live information
Right.
out.
Yeah.
So it horrified them because they hadn't figured it out, and he had.
Yep.
We're
It's
live with
impressive.
boat number 7. I ain't gonna. I was gonna.
Come on,
Beck. I'm gonna
Come
grab
on,
a
no,
bait.
it's a tribute to Mark.
Yeah, no.
Let's do your Mark tribute.
But Mark
He
definitely
hates my face.
He's,
No, he doesn't.
he's-
Yes, he does.
Way ahead of his time, Mark.
Yeah.
And at exactly the right time, he's saying
Yep.
F this.
Yep.
And you're, by the time a guest comes to us, he's been on 300 freaking podcasts.
I can't believe you passed up
crazy.
this, dude.
Fuck him.
I know. I looked at that. That was going to be my second choice, but I
Okay.
did like the looks of this one, so I went with this. So,
Usually-
Pete, you want to start, and by the time you get going, we can.
This just caught my eye because it looked like a. Remember, Bomber had these packages. It's not a bomber. It's Amazing Baits. I thought it was a bomber, but I put my glasses on. It's It's a shallow. I don't know. It's a shallow crankbait. It's interesting. I don't know that I would ever buy this off the shelf, but man, I'd like to see what it does. You know?
Can I see it real quick? Let me see. Oh yeah, yeah. It's got a weird, like elongated body.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
It
almost looks like a
interesting.
shallow diver / wake bait.
Right.
Small
with
little lip.
with a feather tail.
Yeah, I like that looks of that thing.
Interesting.
That looks cool.
The runt.
The runt. Okay, Pete, I love this because I am obsessed with the frog bite, and so is Vegas. I picked out a live target sunfish topwater. And here's what I like about this one, man. Check this out. Let me see if I can get it out of the darn package here. Very realistic bluegill shape, but it's a double-pronged frog, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at it, they oriented it so it looks like the sunfish is laying flat and hurt.
That is amazing.
It
Dude,
just
isn't that
looks
cool?
just like a
Look at that shit.
a bluegill.
How soft is it though? Because you know that's the problem.
It's not super soft, but it's not like
No, this
I've
is
felt
fine,
rock
dude.
hard ones before.
This is perfect.
Yeah, dude, that's a good looking frog. I could see him eating
Wow.
that thing. Yeah,
I'm going. I
live
would have
target.
chose that too.
They walk the dog
sunfish.
like you wouldn't believe.
Do they
those
walk the
baits.
dog?
Are you throwing that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, very cool bait.
You've thrown that specific bait?
Yep.
Oh wow.
Have you caught fish on it?
No.
Okay, but
No.
it looks good. It walks
looks good in the water, but I haven't spent enough time with it. You know.
Right. Yeah, it's cool looking
It's an
bait.
interesting bait.
Yeah, I like it. Miss Rebecca, what do you got? Pick something good there.
Okay, so excuse me. Wow, just hit puberty. Lighthouse Lures mini shad. This was I did this for Vegas. He is my root beer lover, so
Root beer. He does like him some root beer.
I got the little root beer mini shad. Oh my gosh, I put these nails on last night and I can't function. So look, it's just a little mini shad, but this is totally a Vegas bait right here.
There you go. Nice looking swim bait. Realistic. Any scent on there, Beck?
No, not really.
Smell it.
Okay. Dave, what you got?
So I got what exactly are the size and exact color of the shad in the
Wow.
skookle.
Ooh.
But wait till you feel how tacky these hooks are.
Ooh, real.
Now that is made
pronounced black
this-
back on it.
Yeah, this is made by Castaic, the original Castaic.
Oh, the Castaic company. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
No, that's legit. Look at the different eyes on top for different depths.
Now that is super interesting, dude. That it has 2 line ties on it, almost like a blade bait. You know, the metal blade bait has different positioning to change the action. That's got 2 on there.
Shallow and deep. I imagine the one in the back would make it go sideways a lot more, right? Like you would get it to go. Like
Yeah, probably wider, right?
Yeah.
Wider as you went back. Yeah, that's
well,
cool bait.
one of the I've experimented with some baits that have those multiple line ties on those lipless deals.
What are your thoughts?
And it allows you to throw the heavy bait in super shallow water.
Oh, keeps it high.
Keeps it high in the water column, so you don't have to bully it as fast, and you can keep it slow and trigger the strikes.
You know your mouth gets dry when you're pretty high.
You know what? I just had a PTSD flashback with this.
Oh no!
I found a fistful of these. I was drunk on my party that night, by the way, and I found a fistful of these old. I found a fistful of old rusted spots. Like did you guys clip me?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I only took 2. I didn't take the I left the other ones.
You could have took them all, but
I
was
know
just
you were
wondering.
trying to give them away, and then I didn't want to steal them because you were trying to give them away. And I'm
it
like,
was not funny
no,
anymore.
hell that. Yeah, you ain't gonna give them away because you're gonna fish with them.
I'm gonna give them all.
Exactly, and bullshit.
I'm
gonna give them back to
I
you.
want to buy a real nice.
You did have some good ones in there.
I want to buy nice night vision goggles. So I'm saving up.
For what?
For going out in the woods and looking for owls.
They're on the internet.
Owls.
For owls.
Owls.
Abominable owls.
The abominable owls, yeah. If you say Bigfoot, people think you're crazy. If you say owls, they think you're smart.
Brian the Carpenter, what you got there, Brian the Carpenter? What you got?
Charles Manso on Facebook says, "Where is all the giveaways?" Great question, Charles. I'm sorry, Christopher.
Hold on, he
Christopher
gets one
Manso.
for that, dude.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, you win.
Christopher, you win. I don't know what you win, and
Where's
I don't know
all
who's
the
going to write it
Just
down.
send us your address.
we're-
I'll send you something.
So we didn't do the Facebook like and share tonight.
Yeah, but we got that.
Oh,
got
we
that.
did?
Oh yeah, we covered it.
Oh, I don't think I said anything about
No,
it.
Jake from State Farm. He's home.
Oh.
Tending to the herd, the sheep.
Did I miss a whole line on Jake?
No, we had
No,
a
you
Jake
did,
line.
Jake.
No, I had another one, but calling him mayonnaise. Hang on.
Mayonnaise.
Christopher James Fox wants to know
Did
when
you
will
miss one?
Vegas the Hammer be on again.
Vegas the
Dude,
Hammer
he
wanted
to be
on
on.
this show, like
What's-
desperately.
What's up with the rationing the Vegas? The people want them.
I know.
Vegas rationing.
We should have a Vegas special. Let him
We're
do his
supposed
whole
to.
show. You know, his entire
You
show
could just
himself.
prompt him, and he could probably talk for hours about the crazy stuff that just comes into his head and
Yeah.
just comes
Let's
out
keep
his
it
mouth.
efficient at first, and then we'll go there. And him and Dave can start their own show.
No, right now he's obsessed
you don't
with
want-
his building. So last week he was obsessed with building rockets.
Yeah.
And he has
Subs.
a 3D
Now
like
subs.
CAD maker, and this week it's submarines.
Subs this week.
Yeah, propellers, everything. Yeah.
Mike, you got to show him what me, Mark Keogh, and Bruce Levinson used to do. We used to cut the ends of wiffle ball bats off, and we would take the bottle rockets, and if he's in the rockets,
Yeah.
and we would use it as like a rifle. And that was before airsoft. That was our airsoft. We would shoot bottle rockets at each other in the
Out of the
woods.
wiffle ball
Yeah,
bat.
we'd wear our
Oh,
Rambo
yeah.
jackets
Yeah.
and go out into the woods,
man,
dude.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
You-
awesome.
You probably shouldn't show him that.
The best part is if anyone finds a rocket in their yard with a number on it, it's Vegas's because he puts my phone number on every rocket in case they land in
Yeah.
someone's
The
yard.
last one he
They
shot,
can call me.
dude. The last one he shot,
He can
went
get it back.
went up, and we never saw it land.
No.
It just, I was like,
Dude, I tried to introduce David into those rockets when he was younger than Vegas, and I
Yeah.
get him this really awesome rocket. We assemble it together. We get out to the field. I run the wire. I got the battery. And
Yeah.
it's like we do the countdown, and it's like I'm ready to hit the thing. He's like not even. He's like off, just looking over. he didn't even care, dude. I thought we were gonna have like this great dad moment, like you know, and like thanks, Dad. You know, it wasn't like that, dude.
I was honestly, I was semi shocked. It worked because he did Like he's like Becky. He refuses to read instructions.
No, you read instructions when you get jammed up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There's
was like-
suggestions.
I was like,
I'm with you.
I'm like, surely this thing's not going to work. He never read a direction. He assembled the whole thing by himself.
Mike
Like,
was
wow.
so upset.
I was horrified. I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, this ain't going to work. And, he does the countdown, and I'm recording. I'm like, oh, God, poor kid. And then all of a sudden, I'm
Holy
like,
crap.
what the fuck?
Took off.
If we ever go into a long ride, like we ever on a long ride with each other again, I'll explain the biomechanics of why people do that to you. I know why.
Do what to him?
Skip directions and try to do it without, and then kind of reverse engineer the directions to correct their mistake. There is a mechanism that causes that.
Like in your brain, there is? Well, Vegas and I are both dyslexic.
Yeah, well, no, it has nothing to do with that.
So, like, reading the instructions is.
Well, those instructions are translated from Chinese, so they're usually really poorly translated.
I mean, Vegas and I would prefer to just look at something and figure out how it ultimately
Same
goes
here.
together.
Yeah. Show me a couple pictures.
And then if I'm not quite sure, I might check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Anyhow.
All right, Pete, with we are weeks away from Christmas. Any big item you're looking for this year from Santa or Shelley or anybody else? What is your heart desire for Christmas this year, Pete? Give us something.
Man, that's a rough question, man. I didn't expect that question.
All right, Dave.
Next.
So like realistically, what I want?
thing.
Realistic.
Or, like,
yeah,
if-
no, realistic.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Realistic.
No, I don't
yeah.
want anything. I have 2-year-old sneakers. You know what I mean? I don't need anything. I have no utility for any of that kind of stuff.
I was guessing in my mind. I was guessing like something for the yard, something for the man cave or the yard.
No.
Nothing like that.
No, nothing. I have everything, dude. I don't need anything. No.
What about a log splitter?
No, I use a hatchet.
Okay.
Yeah, the
You wouldn't want a mechanical log splitter?
Well, where am I going to put it?
In the back, next to the kayaks.
Yeah. Do you have one of them?
No.
You don't have.
We don't have enough trees.
I've asked for a log
I
splitter.
refuse to get a log splitter.
Log
we,
splitter.
we
10
don't have
years.
enough trees.
I would love a log splitter. Would love one.
Just find trees to cut down.
It's not happening.
I'm just saying.
I would
Nah.
have
Log
no
splitter.
trees left in the backyard.
No, if I had something, I would want like a really super rad pair of like binoculars, the kind you see like you saw the captain of the submarine in Hunt for Red October, the Sean Connery.
Yeah.
If you, like them kind of binoculars that like you're really seeing shit, not like that stuff next to you over there.
No,
You
I
know?
got
They're
like a pair
Yamaha.
of really good ones
Yeah.
a few years
That's
ago.
what I was
What are you
thinking
looking
about
at?
doing.
Yamaha.
What are you trying to see?
Wildlife and
Yeah,
flora
yeah.
and fauna. Just wildlife mainly.
Sasquatch.
You know, you're not going to, dude. They show themselves to you. You don't go find them, dude. And if you happen across one of them, it has nothing to do with anything you did, man.
Yo, that link I sent you
Yeah.
this week, that was from Kumar.
So that rectangular one,
Yeah.
that is the most realistic of what I think I saw when I was 12.
Yeah.
Like I told you, it looked like a refrigerator. It didn't look. You didn't. It wasn't like
A floating refrigerator?
It was like
Well, the graphics
rectangular.
weren't as good back then in the 80s. They were block-like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the pixel. He was
The
operating in less pixels.
Yeah.
But that was. I'd never seen that. I'd never seen that picture. They looked like a guy in a suit, but at least the frame of it, the frame was what was most realistic to what we saw.
Yep.
You know.
Mike, what do you want for Christmas?
A log splitter. I would like a log splitter. How about the log splitter?
Log splitter.
The
What
chainsaw,
kind of log
the-
splitter? I've seen all kinds.
I don't know. Like I just visualize this like a portable log splitter. Maybe it has a couple wheels on it so you can get it around from the front and back, and gas powered. I think they're gas powered, right? Or are they plug-in? I don't even know. And just split some logs. You know what I mean? Just
Nice.
old school. You put it in a little slot.
Yeah.
You hit a button.
Do you
guys-
split
do you guys have
logs
a
now
fireplace?
manually?
That's
now?
bullshit, dude.
I don't.
No,
I
when you
chain-
go
I
out there, when you got to
chainsaw
cut
logs.
wood, it's a physical activity, man. You got to
Big
get
deal.
the sweat on. You got to get the callus.
Yeah.
Do enough-
You gotta
I do
s-
enough
You
physical
got to
activity.
miss a bunch of times. I miss
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. what-
Hatcheting them down.
I'm just whatever
I
it is. When
mean-
it's coming down, I can't eye it up properly, and I'll glance off of it, and then it shoots out, and I'll then it's like not standing right. Like I'm not good at splitting the wood, but
I mean, you might as well just buy the fake log at the gas station if you want a log splitter.
I don't know. I think a log splitter would be cool.
Oh.
Beck, what do you want? A river house?
No, I really don't have. This year I struggled. There's really nothing I really wanted.
Musical instrument.
security
know?
for her driver. I want my driver to have security shotgun.
Beck put on her list a nutritionist, full time.
No, I don't want a nutritionist. I
A
know
cook.
I know what I'm supposed to do. I just don't want to spend the energy doing it after a long day.
Personal
But
assistant.
I would love to have if I ever got rich to the point that you could just do whatever you wanted.
Forget the world money.
The first thing I would do is I'd have a chef, a personal chef.
That would be cool.
Because there's times that I like to cook, but then there's a lot of days, like I would never be able to just stop working or stop, you know what I mean? Because you'd be bored out of your skull. But I would love to be able to come in at the end of the day sometimes.
Brian, you can never
and
stop
there's-
working. You hear that?
And
That's
or
right.
just a grocery runner. I hate grocery shopping with a passion.
grocery
I
runner.
despise
That
grocery
exists
shopping.
now.
No, I like talking to the cashiers. I like going.
Like it's a Whole Foods.
Yeah, but I want them to put it away in my
ShopRite?
house. No,
Well, that's
no,
another
no,
thing.
no.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of like you walk into a store with a cart and you load it all in the cart, and then you have to get to the checkout and you have to put it all in the conveyor, and then you have to put it all back in bags to put it back in your cart to then put it into your car to go home to pull it out and then pull every individual thing out of the
That's true.
bags.
That is kind of pain in the
I
ass.
don't know why, but it pisses me off to no end.
Yeah, but you're on
see
the
that.
phone the whole time. You're doing like three different things. You're not just doing that.
You're talking to your mom.
I know how
she
you work.
answers Like,
I just can't.
I know how you work.
Well, no. Now I just get on the phone and go, kids, what do you want? And put it in the phone, and someone brings it to the house
There
a
you
few days
go.
later. I still don't like it.
Yeah. Brian Carpenter, what do you want for Christmas?
Well, thank you for asking, Michael.
You're welcome.
I want more time with my kids. Yeah, I just realized really heavily this last week that I've always had at least 2 jobs, and then try to go fishing and do other stuff.
Yeah.
And,
It's hard to manage time, isn't it?
Yeah, my oldest is 20, and the other one's 18, and the 20-year-old's talking about like he's about to graduate college pretty soon and move away and
Out of the nest.
Where'd it go?
Yeah.
yeah, where did
Where'd
it
the
go? I
time go?
I have this image of him as a little kid in my head, and it's fucking killing me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I've had like you shocked me with that question, and to be honest with you, if I would just like people to give to the Aaron Martins.
There you go.
Benefit.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
For my Christmas present. I mean,
I like that.
That and a really cool backpack to carry through the airport.
Well, that's a good one too.
Because
So you gave us-
I'm using Jake's Lenape Junior Wrestling backpack.
Yeah.
Like it's my computers break apart, and but that did defend me from the attacking dogs.
I know that story was great.
That was a good story.
Pete's
I told
porch.
you guys about
Pete's favorite porch.
So, but I would obviously I need a new backpack. So I need a backpack and spread some love to Aaron and his family and.
See, I feel bad now because I
let's
only gave a material thing, and you and Brian gave like good things.
No, but you have to be honest. Like when your kids are happy, now because we've got traditions set in place where we all are together, all 4 kids, and we do Christmas Eve, and we have things that we do, and sometimes you get caught up in the hustle bustle of it. But then I love Christmas Day because it's the one day that like nothing happens.
Yeah,
You know what I
nice.
mean?
Nothing's planned.
We don't get out of our pajamas the entire day. Like I
Yes,
pre-cook
it's
the whole
nice.
thing. There's
Yeah.
nothing to do. And I love to look around and just see all 4 kids just sitting there, and they're just interacting and having fun and smiling. Each year they get a little bit bigger, but it's nice. It is nice to just sit back and watch
That's
them.
lucky. That's very, very cool.
Yeah.
It's a nice time. It's
I like,
nice.
I like
Day.
Thanksgiving better because there's no shopping and expectations.
Thanksgiving's my first. Christmas is second.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving used to be my first until I became a wife and mother, and
Had to cook.
it's all on me.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, Mel works from dark to dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm not saying I don't enjoy it,
Yeah.
but it's not my favorite anymore because when I used to just help my mom, I could like step away and go and sit down with my sister-in-law and laugh and have a drink and then go back in the kitchen. Like you're a slave to that whole process when you're in charge.
Yeah. Speaking of Mel, though, at your 50th, that chicken dish that was there.
Mhm.
Dude, what was that?
Ritz crackers.
That
So
was good.
It's called.
I need
it's
more of
called
that.
Chicken Julianne from her Aunt Julianne. Her and all of her cousins had this like OG party thrower, Aunt Julianne, right? And she would lay out the best party spreads, and they all learned from like it's like having Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Right? Like Obi-Wan's living next
Yeah.
to you, and you're interested in Jedi stuff.
Yeah.
And
was that me at the Star Wars thing? Was I Obi-Wan?
Yeah. You
Was
were Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You
That's
were.
it. He was.
Yeah.
Pete, you won.
You won. Pete.
You get the prize.
Tell that dude, old man, that you're not giving no prizes. We gave him to Pete tonight.
She'll send. I'll get her to send back you
Dude,
the
that
recipe
was
to it. I
That
know.
was so
banging.
good.
That chicken's good.
Banging.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everything was good, but that was banging.
Yeah.
That was memorable.
All right, do you
Ritz
guys want to
crackers in
play
it.
some of my trivia?
Yes.
Let's play a little trivia.
Just to see if you guys can remember. All right,
Okay.
so we already know that we started in 2014. Does anyone remember when intern Eric started?
What, like a time?
What year?
I'm going to say,
How
I
many
call
years
it 2000. What year did we start?
14.
I'm going to call it.
13.
I call it 2016. I was going to say. Yeah. No, it's okay.
All right, I'm going to go with 17.
I'll go with 16.
What did I get last pick?
I didn't pick yet.
I think you're supposed to just spit it out.
I mean, I would say
gotta be-
between I would say about 17 and a half.
Bri?
That's 12 months.
1701.
It was 2017.
Whoa!
Now, here's the interesting part. How many interns have we had?
Well, we had
5.
Dave.
5.
Dave, a.k.a. What was Dave's
Forgot about
a.k.a.?
Dave.
Wallace.
Wallace.
Yeah.
Okay. And then who was next?
Eric.
Eric.
Zog.
Zog.
Riz.
Riz.
Yake.
And
Jake.
yeah,
Jake.
Jake.
Jacob.
Just Jake.
Jakob.
Wow, 5 interns. Man, it's pretty good.
Mayonnaise Jake.
Mayonnaise.
I missed the whole line.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah.
You missed the line?
All right. Brian, you know this because you see it all the time, but does anyone know how many episodes we've had?
No, actually, I don't know it.
No?
That's a made-up number. Yeah.
Fake news.
No, I think it's pretty accurate.
Pretty close.
7.
I just add one to the last whatever.
87.
87.
Pete.
Grow up, Pete.
We had 100th
We had a
anniversary.
show 100.
Pete, whatever you won last time.
130.
137.
138.
Well, I was thinking we could
I
do
said
one a month.
137, Mike. I
you
just
know?
said 137.
It's 136.
What? Ah! Dang it.
What episode had the most guests?
Would have been the
Oh,
Delaware River.
I know that.
Delaware River.
Yeah.
I know. I was going to say
The
every
first Ice
every
Foundation
episode.
We rolled.
Where was our first remote show?
We had a remote show?
At the Hilton in
At-
Cherry Hill.
It
Classic?
wasn't. It was the Crown Plaza.
That's what it's called, the Crown
If we're
Plaza.
not counting the classic.
In
And
Cherry
then it
Hill.
would be the
Classic.
classic.
Yeah, if we're not counting the classics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's classic shit.
What was it, Beck?
Well, to Brian's point, you could either say it was at the Classics or the Crown Plaza.
Okay.
Either one that we did.
We really should try to get a show at Garrity's place and get
We
all the local
should.
anglers there
Yeah.
and bring them up and interview them.
It would be fun to do a thing at his place.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
By the way, BRRC, Barrington Rod and Reel, has their Christmas party tonight.
Oh.
I think I should send somebody the Zoom link real quick to get a check-in.
Oh.
Because I think the strippers are there.
Ah.
They have strippers there?
What?
Wow, that's
Wayne Morris is
amazing.
in his underwear.
I also had on here
I'll leave
how
him
many bottles of Jack Daniels has Pete consumed since inception?
Oh, since 138 shows? I would say 138 bottles.
What do you guess, Pete?
1 bottle per show.
I divided by 4. About a quarter bottle per show.
Half bottle a show.
So what is that? 130 divided by 4. What is that? 25
megaliters.
50.
Yeah, but they're handles. Them bottles are handles. That's a
All right,
big-
here's a question for everyone watching. Can you guys
For
name
anyone
and
watching.
you guys don't answer this because I know you guys know. Can you name another one of Dave's characters?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I can.
I know we can, but
Come on, Dave. Bring 'em out.
Dude, I'm at a blank. I got one.
Dude, the best one is the one in my mind is the best one ever. that Brian hated. Brian thought it was the worst character.
No, Becky hated.
Wait,
it.
no, Becky
hated
hated
it.
it.
No,
Becky
hated it.
shamed me out of that.
Oh, that was
I hated that one.
dude, I'd be in so much pain over there in that big black swiveling chair.
Yeah.
I would just try to like roll and hide in that chair. I couldn't breathe.
Ryan's ghost.
Oh, dude, what a great character that was.
That was an amazing
Break 'em out.
character.
Oh man.
Oh man, I know, but you know what? That really, I guarantee it was just us that liked it, and then everyone else probably hated it.
Yeah, I don't know.
man.
Well, no one remembers. No one's saying
Because
them.
It's because no one's watching.
No one cares.
We've been rambling about dumb shit forever.
Yeah.
So we had Stormtrooper.
Well, we had Hudley
we got Brian's
Crockett.
Ghost.
Hudley Crockett.
What's Hudley
The
Crockett?
news guy. Remember the old school news guy?
Brian's ghost.
Yeah, I got 3. Yep.
Brian's van.
Brian's van was a character.
Jark Meffries.
Jark Meffries. Jark was a good one. That was a good one.
Come on, man. You got to keep them
Yo,
going.
what else? Let's see if Mark will have Dave on as a guest on his farewell show as Jark Meffries.
No.
Mark interviewing Jark on his farewell
Mike,
show.
the last time I was in front of him, he wouldn't even look at me when he was talking to me.
Stop it.
It was like he was an NFL coach calling in a play, and he didn't want to see his lips. Like, he wasn't even looking at me, dude.
There's that
He
extreme,
loads me.
and then there's John Milchanowski that just looks at your lips and nothing else the whole time.
Yeah.
Milch, Big John, lip breeder,
All right.
rip bleeder.
I'm done.
You
All
done?
Hold on. Got to delay a little bit longer.
Oh.
Keep saying stuff.
Keep saying
What's the most memorable Christmas show?
Man,
I like
do
the
you
one
think?
where we had Kumar in. I like
it was
him.
Good.
yeah, that was a good one.
Yay, Kumar.
I like to be around him more. I like talking to him. He's
Yair
smart.
Kurmar.
I have to say that all of our earlier shows, I remember just having so much fun because, like, there were no rules.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, now we have rules. You know,
Yeah.
we have to be careful with their sing. You
Well,
know
there
what
was
I mean?
that-
But, like,
yeah, we were through a few things that were frightening, so it sobered us up a little bit.
yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
guess
oh,
we talked about
Yeah,
it.
we forgot a character. He showed up
Yeah,
for that
I
one
wasn't-
show and never
yeah,
came back
yeah.
again.
Who was that? Satan.
We'll talk about it after.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, we talked about something during the break that we're not very PG rated, and Brian booked a high school.
Oh, that was the best.
Oh,
The high school
Coach,
the high school
yeah.
fishing coach.
That was great.
They didn't make it on because he
No.
pulled the plug within 5 minutes of
No.
watching the show. He's like, "Yeah, the kids and I will
yeah.
not be on. The
Yeah,
parent, I'll be fired."
Early on in those shows, I would have a tendency to like be intoxicated before the show even started. Be like,
You were
3
just
or
in a
4.
mood, dude. You come off the road and you were air humping shit. You were talking about.
Well,
yeah.
there's nothing wrong with air humping. Everybody
Well,
air humps
I don't
every
know.
once in a while.
Yeah. Well,
so would you say that
would-
Ric Flair was his favorite character to play?
Woo!
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, he
Most
just showed up on
flamboyant.
TikTok like
Oh,
yesterday.
my
Did he?
Sergeant
Woo!
Slaughter costume is my Telegram avatar.
Wow,
That's amazing.
pretty
It
awesome.
was a good costume.
Yeah,
Probably my best costume.
the Halloween show where we were the anchor from Anchorman.
That was a good one.
That was a good
Yeah.
one. We had Frankie in.
Yeah,
Marion.
Frankie
Yeah,
Marion.
Frankie Marion was in. That was a good one.
I
Frankie
thought
McDonald.
Gilligan's Island was good. Mainly.
Oh, that was a fun
That was a
one.
good
I
one.
was the skipper.
Eric was Gilligan.
I had to
I mean,
be.
there was not a better Gilligan.
Oh my
Right,
God,
Eric
he didn't even have to dress
was
up.
the perfect Gilligan.
Yes, he was.
Fuck, bucket hat and all. Perfect.
Killed
Oh my
it,
God.
dude.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I had to be every female character.
Yeah, I miss Eric.
You had to change during
Yeah,
the breaks.
dude.
Yeah.
He's doing all right.
I miss having him around
He's
here.
he's working quite a bit. He's filming a lot for Fighter and Matt Robertson, and Bud Cipolleti keeps him busy filming different stuff, and
What's he filming with Matt and Seth?
like hunting trips and other
That's
stuff.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything without Pat.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything.
I miss Eric. Eric was just such a great kid.
Yeah.
He still is.
Yeah, we all
Still
love
He's not
is.
even a kid.
Well, he's not a
I
kid
just-
anymore.
I
He
know.
He wasn't a kid. Yeah.
He
no.
wasn't a kid then, but
No.
he was all of our kids.
He's probably on the bad side of 25 now, right?
In
Yeah.
fact, he was 21. We
That's
had him
right.
at Yards on his
Yes.
21st birthday to premiere the Yards Going Ike episode. That's how long
Yeah.
ago that was. When Yards was still at that cool little corner brewery.
Yeah.
That was a cool episode.
It was a cool episode.
Because I actually got out of them a little bit of craft brew. Like
Oh, yeah.
they made a mistake and burned a batch, and that's why it never tastes the same again. But it was the best tasting one they ever made, but they can't duplicate it because
Yeah, which one was that?
It was the Cape of Good Hope.
That's right, it was.
I mean, that was
That
just
was a
that
good
first
one.
season of Cape of Good Hope. There's not been a beer as good since, and
That
the
was a good
ingredients
one.
were so expensive they couldn't redo the batch, so they had to put that shit out there, not being able to duplicate it again because it wasn't
It
a
was good,
measurable.
though, yeah.
It wasn't a measurable product.
Yeah,
you know?
that's right. I haven't had that beer in a while, man.
I don't think they make it anymore. I don't see it. I haven't seen it in years.
Nah.
Discontinued.
That's a good one.
I remember I was called to host, and I'm like, I'm not hosting Ike's show. and I think Ed Bassmasters was my guest host on my very first.
Oh, that's the show. I remember that one.
Brian was beside himself.
It was so uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, is that the show where Ed walked out? He left.
Brian was
That was the
beside
show.
himself.
That was the show that you canceled on me.
I was supposed to be a guest.
You canceled
call-in?
on me from Becky's phone.
Oh.
After it was after that that event. Jacobson and Duckett got into it.
Oh, yeah.
What's that place? Something
Oh.
Bay, Winya Bay.
Yeah, I'm still pissed off about that event, and I know why I canceled. It still drives me nuts. I think about it a lot.
Well, I remember
We don't
being
hold
there.
grudges.
I remember having Ed there, and like he's in character, and it was an impossible character.
It was amazing, Pete.
It was like
Yeah.
impossible, like Brian just finally cut his mic. He finally cut his mic, and then
And Ed
like,
got so mad.
he came out of character for
Well,
10 seconds.
And he left. He
no,
was so mad.
No, he came out of character and leaned over to me, and he said, a motherfucker cut my mic. Did I just say that?
Yeah. Did I just say that?
Pete
out loud?
just dropped that word
I
on
just
this
dropped
show?
that. I'm sorry.
Pete, watching you suffer through that, I can remember almost
Oh man.
Oh, we got a live feed here. We got a live feed from the Barrington Rodville Christmas
Johnny
party.
says no.
We see a Miller Lite on the table. We actually
Go
see
Taz.
do we see a stripper?
We absolutely, yeah.
Darren, give us a view, Darren.
Here, right?
Oh!
Senior!
What's up, big dog?
Oh, it's awesome.
So there's a stripper right in front of you, but we're looking at your two faces. How awesome.
They probably can't hear us.
Yeah.
That's great. Senior's better than a stripper.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Look at Darren's just staring at us.
What is she doing? Making drinks?
Probably counting money.
Counting the money in her bra.
This poor woman.
In her brassiere.
Little does she know she's live to our 30 viewers.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
I sense we're violating some copyright infringement right now.
There's more people watching the camera at Duval Street right now on YouTube Live than watching the show. I guarantee it.
What is she counting money? What's
I
happening
don't know, Darren,
here?
zoom in.
Oh, I don't think we should know. I don't think we should show that.
No?
Zoom in.
Maybe not a good idea. Hey, we got to go out. We got to go out our
That's
way.
the weirdest looking jackhammer I've ever seen. That's a weird wrench.
Oh, okay. All right, Brian.
All right.
I think I think cursing's one thing. I'm not sure if that's.
Yeah, you don't know what's coming next.
Yeah.
Because they don't know they're being filmed.
I don't think
dude.
we can cover the liability on that one.
No. I was just repeating what I heard when I was.
I have to be
saying
honest.
those
I thought
things.
y'all were joking.
So hold on. Here's one. Oh, he still has them. Look. Brian.
That's not going out to the public.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, shit. Mike, look.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, seeing this kind of stuff makes me think we got to really step up our year-end parties.
Oh my.
That was good.
It's all women, Pete. It's all women putting together these Christmas parties. So it might be be Thunder Down Under instead of the other one.
The most exciting thing at our Christmas parties, I accidentally got turtle tapped by a 60-year-old. You know what I mean?
Turtle tap.
Yeah. Like
What's
when we were getting
turtle
our
tap?
group picture, turtle tap.
What's
Like
turtle tap?
someone's hand accidentally like bumps into your junk.
Yeah, but when it's a double turtle tap, is it accidental?
It was singular. It was
Oh,
just a
it was
drive-by.
single. Okay.
Yeah.
Drive-by.
Boop, 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 boop.
All right.
All right. Want to thank everybody for watching tonight. What a great show. Fun show. Very memorable Christmas episode. Want to thank our guest, Maddie Wong, for coming in with us. Unbelievable.
Who's
luck,
the
Maddie.
like and share person?
Oh, Sean Avery on Facebook. Not to be confused with the hockey player that used to play for the Rangers and some other teams, but Sean Avery.
Sean Avery, you're a winner of Facebook Like Share.
Send
Congrats.
somebody your information. Anybody.
Also want to thank Billy Egan for coming in and filling us in with the Hog Snatcher benefit. That was awesome. Want to thank the who else did we have come in? The stripper from
Daisy.
I was going to call it Top Rod.
Yeah.
The Barrington Rod and Reel.
Top Rod.
How funny is that, though?
Special.
That was funny to bring them in. Should have done it earlier, dude.
Yeah, that was good. And want to thank everybody for watching and listening. If we don't talk to you before Christmas, have a wonderful Christmas. Have a happy holiday.
Shout out to Bobby Lane. He wanted to be on tonight, but
We'll talk to
just
Bobby.
didn't work out.
We'll talk to Bobby.
Go win it, Bobby.
Yeah,
go win
it, Bobby. If you cancel Like Live, you better win the thing, huh? All right. Good night, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Peace
Christmas.
out.
Merry Christmas.
I forgot to pull something up to play on the way out.
The Wizard.
Here comes Santa
Black
Claus.
Sabbath.
Here comes Santa Claus. Right down Santa Claus Lane.
Chingy.
Yeah,
Play
the
Chingy.
tambourine.